we're live. Oh no, my music is still loud. I'm so sorry. I figured it out. All right. Big bat brain time. How are you today, Bat Bunch? Look at this little gremlin I have with me.
Hello, it is I, a gremlin.
Isn't she so cute? I met this little gremlin.
I don't know about that, but I'll take the compliment.
I met this little
I'm
gremlin
hearing, like,
at
double
like...
audio somewhere.
Yeah,
and
me
it's like,
too. I'm trying to figure it out. Hold on. Do I?
Where is it coming from?
Good question. Oh, I figured it out. I need to stop streaming too. Is it good now?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay.
You're okay. Chat specifically to the. Actually, no. It's not. Where's it coming from? Hello.
Hello.
Oh. Wait. I can't. Okay, no. It's coming somehow from Discord sounds.
Okay. I'll call you back then. Let me call you back.
No, it's. Sorry, I broke everything immediately.
It's all good. It's all good. Hello? Hello? Nope. Thank you for the sub, Tiramisugoi. 42 months, baby. I'm an old VTuber. We're gonna be ruining your childhood today, and here with me is Weather Girl Ray. We are currently trying to figure out our technical issues, but I met this little gremlin at Offkai, and I thought she was so cute, and I was like, we gotta collab. She is also self-drawn, by the way. Let's try and figure out.
As soon as we started, I immediately broke everything.
Yeah, is everything okay?
Yeah, you know what I did?
Huh.
I did nothing wrong. It was just my audio. This thing I'm tapping. I literally just unhooked it and then I hooked it back in.
Okay. Yeah. Your audio interface can be glitchy and weird sometimes.
It's glitchy every single time I stream. I'm like, you're not even that old. I am older than you. Grandma is telling you, please do your job, citizen.
Yeah.
Oh, I love how I got a giant ad that I can't close. Okay, now I can close.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
Oh, okay, excellent. It's gone.
All right.
Okay, I am gonna pull up your stream as well because I want to see where we're at. So just to make sure I'm not jumping the gun all the time because that does happen.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm sorry that I have to go and absolutely decimate your intro. Please
You're all good. Let's do this again. Okay. For those of you who do not know, my name is Yam Elbat. I make encouraging videos to creators over on YouTube, and then I also have a podcast called Yammer Time, in which I more or less just talk about anything a creator needs to know about keeping things fun and lighthearted, even when creativity and content creation gets hard.
That's real.
Yep. I'm also a self-drawn VTuber, and that is something that Ray and I have in common.
Wait. That was back in the PNG tuber phase. I would like to state that this chibi model is not drawn by me. Please refer to my Twitch panels.
Self-designed.
Like, mad panic.
Self-designed. Sorry. Self-designed.
Well, no, because okay. Technically, not even technically. Technically, I came up with the concept. I went to a design artist where she was like, what about these designs? And we just stitched it together. So I just like to add these asterisks of guys.
Okay, artist VTubers. Here we go.
I'm so sorry.
What?
I'm sitting there like, no. I'm just a nervous wreck of a
Aw, you
weather
shouldn't
cat
be
at,
nervous.
like 90%
I'm
of
like-
the time.
I'm like the worst streamer. It's funny because I teach other people how to stream good. I'm a VTuber manager who literally teaches people how to stream for their job, and yet for me, I can't get it together. I'm a better teacher than in practice. It's all like downhill. But yeah, do you want to
General statement of. Oh yeah.
introduce yourself?
Sorry, y'all. I'm a yapper if you can't tell.
Yeah.
Hello, it's your weather girl Ray. Thank you for tuning into the weather forecast. You can just call me Ray. I am a weather cat VTuber who really likes to yap, play cozy games. Please do not make me play a scary game. I will actually cry on you. And in general, just like to be a little bit of a gremlin. It's very nice to meet all of you over on Yam Albat's side. And hello to my raindrops and weather rats. Behave. And yes, I did fix the throwing stuff. You may throw me, and then Yam can just be confused as why my body is flailing everywhere.
You know what? We're here for the yapper, the gremlin energy. I'm excited. Yeah, so today, what are we doing today? What's this behind me?
So if people can't tell, we are ready to absolutely, at least if you play Gen 4, we're absolutely ready for us to not smash, but judge, I would say. We don't say, actually we will say it, so actually it is just judging.
Yeah.
We'll be judging the Gen 4 designs of Pokemon. We'll be scrutinizing them, adding our own opinions that is totally true, totally valid, absolutely just the truth. No lie here, the most accurate. If you disagree, unfortunately, you're wrong. I'm kidding. Please don't come after me.
Just you know, just our opinions, but passionately stated. Feel free to passionately and politely state your own opinions as we go through the Gen 4 Pokédex. I will tell you, I am more nostalgic for this gen because this was my first Pokemon game. I played it before I knew how to read, and my older sister had to hold my hand to get me to understand how to progress in the game.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah.
I don't have a good feel story about Gen 4. Okay, I'm like an analytic kid, y'all. I literally was like, what generation of Pokemon games do I like the Pokemon design the most? So when I was younger, I just went through 1 through 5, and then I tallied up the points and did a percentage based on that. See, analysis, stuff like this, boring. And then I somehow found, okay, I won't lie, Gen 4 was not one of my favorite games. So much to my surprise, when I found out, it turns out it's the highest percentage of designs that I love the most. But I'm ready to rip into it and give my opinions. Also, for y'all, just to let you know, this website has advertisements, as you can tell, and there's nothing I can do. Why am I being told to read chat? Why am I being told to read chat?
Oh my gosh.
Are you? Oh no, mod, Chunky, you don't have to mod today. You literally don't even need to ask for permission. Thank you for letting me know. Go and lurk and enjoy yourself today.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I have to refresh this because the advertisement is. Yeah, there we go. Okay, guys, I found the loophole. Just refresh the website.
Yeah.
So do you want to? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna ask if you wanted to start because I'm so ready to be judgmental. I
All
swear
right.
I'm not normally like this.
All right, so for context, I have the Bulbapedia up for. Oh wait, I need a Gen 4 only. Hold on. I have the Gen 4 version of Bulbapedia up, so I can show the images first.
That's probably smart, and I probably should have done that.
Here, let me grab it.
I'm
for
not
you.
cheating. Y'all are cheating.
Here, let me just share my Firefox with you. Especially because I don't have ads for magical reasons. If you just wanted to pop out the Discord and yeah. That way we're looking at the same thing at the same time.
Why am I suddenly hearing Pokemon music?
Because of me. This is this is my Pokemon playlist so that We've
Okay,
got.
Grandma is figuring this out. Pop out. Can I show this on stream? Is
Yeah,
that possible?
yes, you can. It's a window capture.
Got you. I
Yeah.
got you. Hold on. Window. Okay. Delete later. Is it null?
Maybe it should
Yep.
say Discord null something. Yeah.
Okay, let me make this tiny so that way people are like, huh? Okay, I am ready.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go.
I already have opinions about this one, but this is Turtwig, you guys, the grass starter Pokemon.
Yeah, his
Do you want to start or do you want me to start? How do you want to do this?
He's the tiny leaf Pokemon. This is Turtwig. I think in the context of his design, like he's supposed to be kind of like the seedling because if you check his whole evolution line, it's like eventually he's gonna have like a whole tree and stuff, and he's gonna be like the mythical turtle that holds the world on his back in Japanese mythology. So I think personally, as someone who loves reptiles and also like loves grass types, Turtwig is a solid starter for me. And I think he introduces his concept of like the potential plant he's going to grow into, because that's like starters, they're supposed to draw you in by the appeal of the potential third evolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. Okay, I will say this. I do agree with you that I think out of a little bit of a spoiler, I think out of all of the three starters, he's like possibly the most like design I like the most, but I think he is very solid on the basis of when you see him and then the rest of his line, it makes sense. Like you don't suddenly go, where did this come from? Like when they all line up with each other, you're like, I can see this Pokemon evolving to this Pokemon to that Pokemon.
Right.
Having said that, he's a little bald.
He's a little bald. He is a reptile.
And, I'm not being. Reptiles can have like mohawks. I mean, I guess he has like a single like twig on his head, so like points for effort. But I'm just saying, I'm not salty about not having my own hair.
Bald King, rise up. You guys are valid too. He might have a receding hairline, but that's just part of the pun. Receding, get it? His head is the seed.
Oh my gosh, that is such a good pun. Yes. Also, Red, thank you for putting the glasses on. I feel like 20 times smarter.
So where would you put Turtwig? I would personally put him in A. I wouldn't say he's like the best.
A or B, but yeah, I don't think he's like S tier. But like I was like A or B for me, just because like, yeah, I was just like the bald thing is the only thing that I'm like, my boy, my son. You and I have to have a talk about when you get older, what you're gonna do about your life and the decisions you're gonna have to make about your not hair, but single piece of.
I'm gonna put him in A, and we can make him a low A.
I agree with you now.
Yeah. All right, next. Oh, that's not how we go next. Hold on. Oh gosh.
Dun.
Now we
I
have
hope you guys can
Grottle,
hear the music.
the growth Pokemon. How do you feel about Grottle?
My boy, my son. Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, so first off, I love the fact that they are starting to introduce like his shell is growing and he's like slowly starting to match him.
Yeah.
I think though I will say this, when you see Torterra, the way the shell is a little bit designed almost feels like it's going to encapsulate him in the front, but they're solidly starting the idea, so it's a little bit like whoa for a few seconds, but it's a little bit of like starting to show like the final evolution. It's like a nice mid stage. Other than that, I love the shapes that they're doing with like the shells and like look at his face.
He has a cute
my son. Look at him.
He's very cute. I would say I really like, his face, and I like the shape language. I like the silhouette of the bushes. He's really strong, like, silhouette-wise. I would say the weird thing is like, specifically, again, his shell is in that awkward phase for me where it's not, it's almost armadillo.
Yeah.
And I'm not
So
sure why
it almost gives you a different feeling than what Torterra's gonna be.
Right.
Almost.
I would say he's just a little lower than Turtwig for that reason, just because I feel like, I don't know, he kind of looks like Sandshrew. That's not, I mean, yes, he gets the ground typing eventually, so I can see, but I just feel like, I don't know, to me that shell could use like one more iteration to be there, and I don't think it's quite there yet.
I do agree with that because I think they were going for like the turtle is in the shell kind of thing.
Yeah.
But because of the way it curves, it really feels more of like the way the shell itself is like conforming to the shape as well of the body, whereas I think Torterra is clearly feels like it is a shell, it is solid, it is growing out, if that makes sense. And I think they could have added more elements of that.
So B, C, where do you feel?
I love him, so my nostalgia says B, but I do think he's a little bit below Turtwig.
Okay, all right. Now we get to the god himself.
I've already made my decision.
Are we putting Torterra in S tier? He's like putting the best. This is peak Pokemon. I'm just gonna say it right here. Concept wise, like the whole like, I don't know. I think it's originally Chinese mythology, but there's like a lot of overlap of like the tortoise who has the earth on his back. It's such a cool concept for a Pokemon. So well executed. And also he looks tough, but also I want to scratch him under his chin. Like, that's what a Pokemon should be. This is everything a Pokemon should be. S tier.
Sorry, I've been just trying to hype you as much as I can because I agree with you. So I literally was like, Yam, I'm sorry. Even if you don't have the same opinion, this one's going way up in S.
It's going in S?
Let's talk about. Yeah, it's an S tier design. I will and chat. I will fight you. I will literally fight you if anyone has something bad to say about Torterra. Okay, like first off, Torterra's face, perfection. It's that perfect, like you said, Yam, the perfect balance of like just the perfect balance of like I am a tough Pokemon, the final like evolution starter, right? Like you can see it beside your shoulder, but you can definitely being like, hey, good boy, giving it scritches. I want to ride on Torterra's shell and sleep on underneath its tree so much.
I love fan
badly.
art that uses Torterra's size to be like, or there's like this whole like fan theory that like different Torterra produce different fruit, and you can actually like garden their garden on top of them, and it's like a whole like chart of like Torterra husbandry, like this.
Yes.
I think part of designing Pokemon is like making sure that you have a concept where kids' imaginations, well, not just kids, but like the audience's imaginations can continue to like
see the Pokemon in their real life almost.
Yes.
Right?
Imagine
I totally agree with
playing
that.
with the Pokemon and stuff in their real life. And I think this invites that kind of feeling. Like I could imagine like if there were Pokemon in real life, one of the first ones I want is a Torterra.
Oh,
Just gonna say
I can see that. I will say this. I think this is like kind of my rule of thumb. If I have a very, very easy time seeing like different concepts or like variations of a design, so like I've seen like a lot of people who make like different seasons of Torterras, right? Like fall, spring, different types of flowers. They play with a lot of different things. I think if you can see that, I think it's this very solid Pokemon design.
Yes.
Like it's something about it. Not only like you said, like it lets them feel like they're immersive, but they want to expand upon that design, which means that it's achieved the Pokemon thing where it's complicated enough that it stands out on its own, but it's simple enough that people, and like intriguing enough that people want to build upon that concept.
Yes. Yeah, this is what we're looking for S tier. People, I don't know if we're ever gonna beat it tonight, but you know, we'll see. All right. Moving on to the next one in the generation, we've got Chimchar. we're continuing with like the Chinese myth theme. I think this evolution line is
Yes.
based on Sun Wukong, I think this embodies Wukong really well with the mischief. But I've also kind of like the red highlights like over the eyes and stuff. They're curious, but also like kind of, I don't know how to say it, like vibrant,
Mischievous, like
Mischievous,
curiosity,
yeah.
like mischievous, like a young little kid who's kind of like.
Yes, exactly. It's not bald.
I will say this. It's I'll give it that. Okay. I've never been a fan of firefighting monkeys. But I will say, design-wise, I do think it's quite solid. Like I like the fact that its head is like clearly supposed to be fireball, so they're not just adding the tail as like a last-minute thought kind of
Right.
deal. There's a lot of that spiral, like Wukong, or correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but like that kind of like feeling of it.
Yeah.
I think it's like a fairly like decent design for a baby Pokemon starter.
Yes.
Is how I feel about it. Not necessarily my favorite, but I can give it applauds for being a solid design. Nate, what?
Nice. Nice.
Okay, we will spin the wheel. Okay, hold on. I have to spin my sub wheel. They
worries.
just beat me.
Yeah.
Sorry. But if you there it goes. Okay. I have to do karaoke after this. Alrighty.
Okay. Nice.
Alrighty. Okay. Thank you for the gifted subs. I appreciate it. No. Okay. This is someone put Chimchar as top tier. I want to tolerate slander, you goober.
So
I'm just saying, it's not my favorite. It's a solid design.
I
You
would
wanna put it in,
definitely
like-
say that like Chimchar invites the idea of like a friend to play with. Like he might like
Yes.
get you in trouble a lot, but like he's a little boy's best friend for sure. I would say he's a B tier, maybe A tier, but under Turtwig.
Yeah, okay, so my thing is that you're doing the same thing I was doing just a while ago, where I was stuck between A and B. I feel like he's a little bit above Grottle if he's in the B tier, like 100%, just because I think he's way more solidly designed.
Yeah. His
I
like
don't
even
know
just
if I wanna
looking at
call
him from afar is like, wow, he's really clear in his design, even like his shape language
Yes.
and the way his, you know what, I'm bumping him up to A, sorry. We're gonna have so many in A. I'm sorry, it's just how it is.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to treat it nicely. I have thoughts about the second one that's coming up,
Yeah, I
mostly
do too.
because of how it ties with the third one, but we'll talk about that.
All right, let's talk about Monferno next. He is the playful Pokemon. I don't like Monferno. I'm sorry. It's not anything personal. I get that it's like a baboon, but I don't like the blue. It kind of looks.
It doesn't make sense to like okay, like the blue attracts your eyes there, but I feel like it contrasts a lot. It doesn't, I think, correlate well to the next design. Like it doesn't mesh is how I feel about it.
Yeah, and I
Like
So I can still see the Wukong, like he's got the rings around. He got the ring around his like arm, which is another Wukong myth thing. But I just don't know about the baboon coloration of his mask. I think,
or like if they continue that in some way. I guess yeah, it is really like a baboon. If they had like really gone for it, I could have understand that. But my issue is when you look at the third final evolution, you're kind of like, wait, what?
where'd the blue go?
Yeah, it's like how did it get to your hands and feet? Spoilers.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Less solid. It definitely makes me. Whenever I have an Chimchar, I usually try to skip the Monferno phase as quickly as possible. I don't like him. I'm sorry.
It's okay. At least I like him better than our other starter.
So C tier.
I almost
D
want to put him in
tier?
C or even
C?
D. Like maybe okay, so because I think he's not F only because I like the way his tail has translated from Chimchar to Monferno. And I have thoughts about that for the... I understand why they didn't do it, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with it at D tier.
Okay.
Someone in my chat is like, D tier? Because he loves Monferno.
I'm so sorry. We'll go to Infernape really fast to just rip that band-aid back off. Like, I love Infernape.
I think it solidified what Chimchar was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And the blue used in here makes way more sense because it's more using as like a darker contrast.
Yeah. Yes. He looks like he's learned. He's like wise now. He knows his power and he knows how to harness it for good. Like Wukong. The gold plates are like really well done and really accent his joints and his fighting spirit.
Thank you, Soul Eater.
King Infinite, best boy, yeah.
Okay, so like I think that's why when I see because Infernape, I don't like fire monkeys, but even I think Infernape is like a pretty decent design.
Yeah.
Like what confuses me is I don't know why for Monferno they didn't add more. Like they only added the gold bands. I was like, why didn't you go for the more spiral thing?
Yeah.
And like do a little bit more. Like my only sad thing about Inferno is I wish they had somehow managed to keep the fire tail in somehow. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he suddenly goes from I have my tail's on fire. My tail is on fire. My tail is no longer on fire. And
I
I'm
feel
like,
like part of the reason why is because they
like,
want to
too
show.
much.
I think they want to show that he has wisdom over like
control.
He's like learned to harness his
get
powers more. But you're right. They might. I don't know what I would have done with his tail.
I will say I will say this to give them credit is even if they had kept a similar tail to Infernape, I do think though it would have really clashed a little bit with his fire hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the only reason. You think if you pour water on it like Infernape and the flame goes out, he's also bald?
Probably. Considering. Okay, are we going S tier below Torterra, or are we doing A tier for this one?
I have such a hard time with it because like I want to put him. I don't know if he 100% deserves the S tier. If he does, he's at the bottom of S tier. If he's in the A tier, he's in the top of A tier is how I see it, if that makes sense.
I mean, for me, I think he's right below Turtwig, but I really like Turtwig, so that's kind
okay. So see, that's the thing. Nostalgia-wise, I love Turtwig, and I will go into story time once we hit my least favorite starter of all time. I have too much. He just... Everyone has different theories in my chat right now about, like, someone's like, okay, if he's not bald, you would see brains. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But everyone's like, no, he deserves S tier. He's my GOAT. But, like, design-wise, I'm just saying, it's a solid design. I just don't know if it's an S tier design. I think they could have... I could possibly see someone doing better, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. We'll stick him in between these two, then. All right. Let's go to the next evolution chain.
I already put it. Okay, I jokingly put him immediately in D tier, but he's cute, so very reluctantly, I'll raise him up higher. But I have opinions, and I'm going to wait while I simmer in here with absolute hatred while you go first. Yeah,
my baby, he's a friend. There's a reason why they use him in more Pokemon promotionals than Turtwig or Chimchar. I think he's just like timeless kind of Pokemon design. Not over-designed, not under-designed, and very marketable. That's what I'll say.
Bye, Nate.
I think he's perfectly puntable.
Yeah, puntable.
Okay, I will say this. Before I have my tragic tragedy, right? I actually chose Piplup because I really did like the design. I do agree with you. I think he has like a really great design. The anime did great in making me hate Piplup even more than I did before. I'm not gonna lie.
Stop.
No. I literally was like, you need like smack, like sense smacked in. Like I've never felt the Asian mom call so strong in my life. Like I was, cause they'll be like, "Pip, pip, 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 pip," and I'm like I'm like sitting there like in my heart like yelling in Korean at it like.
I will tell you that, okay, I'm a kid born in 2000, so just get the cringe out now. But I do remember when Gen 4 anime came out, my mom would be yelling into the living room like, what are you watching? Every time, because the Pokemon cries for the Gen 4 anime just got 500 times more annoying than like any other of the anime before it. I don't know who thought that, like,
Maybe I feel like I understand your mom though, because like I don't know what it was. Like the only one in the anime I think I genuinely liked was Toxicroak. Or Krogan,
I like Krogan, yeah.
And like everything else, I was just sitting there like.
As someone who rewatched the anime as an adult, I will say, Gen 1, 2, and 3 animes, they're really shonen. And then Gen 4, like, takes a left turn into being super duper drama. Like, it's like a K-drama. It's like watching a K-drama, but with Pokemon.
What's his name? Like Paul?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That whole subplot. So I remember I was like, why does this guy keep appearing? Like, because I wasn't watching all these episodes consecutively. It would just randomly appear.
Right, me too.
And this guy, like this not nice person. I'm not allowed to cuss on this stream, so I'm doing my best. This not nice person would be like here, and I'm just like, why are you here, dude? Who are you? And then I remember I went to Bulbapedia to look up this man, and I was like, oh, okay, there's like plot, okay. And it just kept going.
Yep.
And going.
It's so dramatic. Pikachu almost freaking dies in that. There's like a Pikachu almost dies arc. I don't know if you remember it, but he was like in the hospital for 3 episodes. I'm not kidding.
Okay, and then I think I saw like 1 episode of that, but I didn't realize it was 3. Do you remember the ending of the Pokemon League for that? Because if I remember correctly, I didn't watch it. I read it. Basically, Paul, who has been the antagonist this entire time, wins the championship.
Yeah.
By bringing a legendary Pokemon.
Yes.
I was like, not only did you make him not only did you make the antagonist win, you made him win by cheating?
Yeah.
I didn't understand
Ash
their logic.
can't win because they already had black and white set up, okay? Ash can't win. He's not allowed to win.
Okay.
Yeah, but to go back to it, it wasn't Paul who bring the legendary. Paul also lost. See, I personally, I don't remember the ending. I more remember Pikachu being in the hospital for a long time, and Ash is like crying, and he's like, Pikachu, just let me use the Thunderstone on you. And Pikachu is like slapping it out, even though he's still in the hospital bed. I was just like, but I really liked the contest.
It's telenovela.
It was telenovela. However, it's because I think with Gen 4, they were trying to push the demographic of girls more and more, which I ate up.
That's why there was romance. Okay, that makes sense.
I ate it up. I want to be a contest coordinator. I don't want to battle Pokemon. I want to feed them cute things and brush their fur and take them to the friend square. And then I want to dress them up and make them do pretty moves. I want to be a freaking Pokemon coordinator. I don't want to battle.
I will agree. I think that made me kind of like, even though I hated the outfits, but I really did think that somehow it worked with Dawn, like a little bit at least. It made me go like, oh, that looks fun. Weirdly enough, with Serena, this is like a different generation, guys. I don't know why. Okay, someone talked to me about this yesterday. They were having me like choose between 2 female characters in Pokemon and which one I preferred better. And when they chose like Hilda versus, at some point, because Hilda kept winning for me, Hilda versus Serena, they were like, this is gonna be a tough decision. And I instantly was like, Hilda. I hate Serena. I hate her design.
I don't like her either.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I was like, because I felt like I was going crazy because everyone was like, "No, Serena's a great design." I was like,
No,
you and I have very different
Pokemon-
opinions."
Actually, the art direction of Pokemon X and Y is my least favorite.
I think I heard people. Yeah, I agree with that. I think story-wise, it was probably the best, minus the romance. But the art, I remember. I think because I hated the art so much when Sun and Moon showed up, I was like, thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
thank you.
Art direction for Sun and Moon is my favorite, and it's like right back to back with my least favorite. So yeah.
I think, okay, so I'll say this. Did you know people don't like Sun and Moon for the anime?
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, so then I was wondering why, because so Sun and Moon is how I got really back into Pokemon, because
Same.
I used to, yeah, so like Pokemon like anime, I literally used to like, because I'd maybe watch it like an episode or two, or I might like, you know, just like read the Wikipedia. No, for Pokemon Sun and Moon, I would literally play it on my like phone while I did stuff and watch stuff, because it was so relaxing. It was so nicely beautiful. It was
So
nicely
good.
animated.
Nicely
But I
animated,
think-
great art style.
Yeah, but what I realized, because I actually went online to like find out why do people hate it, is because X and Y was visually not pretty, but X and Y, they actually try to do a serious like consequence, like
Yeah.
like story plot.
Mhm.
And then Sun and Moon, they went complete, because it's like Hawaii based, right? They went
Yeah.
absolutely opposite, and they were like aloha, like keep it
Yeah,
breezy,
slice of life.
nothing too, yeah, right. And I think people, after going from that, was expecting more adult content, and they were just like, whoa, where did it go? And I was like, I don't think this would work with the direction of Sun and Moon in the first place if they were trying to
Here's
go
the
for
thing
nitty-gritty.
though. Okay, this is gonna offend a lot of people.
Aloha to the aloha.
But for me, I feel like there's a difference between like it feels mature for teens, but then you look back on it and it's like super edgy, and then it's like it feels like adults making good content for kids. I feel like the X and Y anime series feels mature when you're like 12. You think this is like the most like edgy, like cool, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that they would go here in a Pokemon, right? And then
For ninja.
right? And then you
Yeah,
go back
no, I
and
agree
watch
with
it
you.
as an adult, which I did, and I was just like, this is like grating. Just like everything needs to be dramatic and action all the time. And I'm just like, I'm here for the cute Pokemon as an adult. So the Alola anime actually appeals to me a lot more as an adult, just because I'm not here for like the action and drama of Pokemon. I really just want to see the animals like be cute.
Well, I will say this. One of the things I really liked, though, about Sun and Moon anime is, I don't know if you remember this episode. One of the episodes that stood out the most was they actually talked about, like, Pokemon death without
Right.
going, like, super explicitly into it.
Uh-huh.
And for me, when I watched that, I was like, no way, they're gonna keep it, like, light and breezy. It's gonna recover, right? And then as the episode kept progressing, I was like, right?
Yeah.
And then by the end, I was like, oh my gosh, no, they went with the I felt like I was sucker punched, because I was literally like, I just watched an episode of them like swimming in the swimming pool. Look at how silly like wet Altaria is.
Yeah.
And then it's like family dying, and I'm like, and your pet dog, who's the grandpa, I was like, huh?
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't need this today.
Right.
Cry.
But it could just be my like taste shifting as I got older. I prefer
That's true.
Pokemon when it's cute and lighthearted, because I think some of the appeal is like Ash's naive but optimistic spirit, and when he's like going through trauma, I'm just like, I'm not as on board. If I want to watch little boys go through trauma, I'm just gonna watch Hunter x Hunter. They go all the way, you know.
That's very true. That's how I was kind of like, all right, you can like your Pokemon X and Y. I'm here with my Sun and Moon chilling and vibing.
Yeah, exactly. I think having those generations back to back kind of split the fan base the most, just because like you've got people who are more into the dramatic storytelling, and then you got the people who are into the cute animal relaxation time, and they kind of are like clashing on whether Sun and Moon was good, whether it was bad. Yeah.
Oh, I agree with you. So at that point, what would you say is like like your tier then for Piplup? I'm just kind of curious.
I think if I'm like talking about design and not like personal, I would say that he's B tier. He's the least favorite of my starters, like charm wise. However, like Pokemon has used him in a lot of marketing for a reason, and it's because he's just a really solid design. So anywhere from B to S, I accept.
I agree with you that it's a very solid design. A lot of my friends love Piplup. They love Piplup and they also love Rowlet. And so like one of my friends loves Piplup so much that I keep getting them merch for them. And I will admit, it's incredibly adorable. I just have so much trauma that Piplup, you're sitting at a very pretty C, and just know that is my grace upon you. But you can put it anywhere you want, Yam. I'm just saying, personally, my finger cannot lift it higher than a C
I'm gonna put it B
because of my hatred.
Yeah, we can have hatred for Empoleon and whatever the middle one is. Prinplup. I don't like Prinplup.
Oh, thank you. No. Piplup does not deserve better. Piplup deserves. Okay, you know what? You're right. Piplup deserves better by not being saddled with the rest of its evolutions.
Yeah. So my older sister chose Piplup, and I chose Chimchar for our very first playthrough. And when my older sister evolved her Piplup, she was sad. She turned her DS off. So,
I will say I was kind of similar, so I understand your sister.
She eventually...
No, because it's okay. I don't know if you want to bring up Prinplup, but like, okay, look at Piplup. Look how adorable he is, right?
Yeah.
The roundness, the little coat, the little like cute little like in Korean we call it like mung. Like it's like the just like kind of blank, like the mung face.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah, right. And then if you look at freaking Prinplup, like look at it. I don't know.
So my guess is...
Okay, there we go.
My guess is what they did was they had the design for Piplup, and then they had the design for Empoleon, and they're like, how do we make a middle stage that fits these two very different designs? So they tried.
Fails.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with it. I think it's just the face. I don't think the body's bad. The feet are weird, but the body's not bad. It's just like the face.
The body,
is ugly.
it makes sense. They're trying to make it go slowly into a coat.
Yeah.
But I think what they could have done is... Sorry, I got so distracted by the Team Skull's theme song. I heard it, and my automatic reaction to it is to pause to take it in. I'm sorry.
I love Team Skull.
I do too. I think what they could have done is instead of making... I understand that middle evolutions have to look awkward, right? But this is like too awkward enough that it's like you disassociate from it. I think if they had managed to add a little bit of the intricacies from Empoleon's design, it would have bridged better and made him look more like a gentleman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Rowlet's middle evolution, I'm so sorry, I played those games in Chinese, so I don't have like the English names in my brain.
Can I ask why?
Oh, because I'm learning Chinese.
Oh, that's so smart.
Yeah, so I play like children's games in my target language. Like Alola Onward. Yeah, Alola Onward, I've played all the games in Chinese, so I'm so sorry, I don't have like the English names.
I'm looking it up, don't worry. Dartrix.
Dartrix, thank you. Dartrix did what Empoleon was trying to do a lot better.
Yes, I agree with that. It makes sense. Like I think if anything, okay, I will say this. I think if anything, my problem with Dartrix is that somehow, like Dartrix, parts of its component should have gone to Prinplup because of like how much it looks like a gentleman, whereas like Decidueye looks like an archer, like Robin Hood, and I think they could have added more aspects to that by using like a hoodie or something, or the beginning of a hoodie or something like that, with like leaves, like hiding in the leaves or something like that, like a cloak or something made out of leaves or something like that. But like I don't know why they couldn't have taken the gentleman, like the awkward gentleman aspects of Dartrix, and then just impose that into like Prinplup. Like, what happened?
Yeah, so I think what they're trying to go for is like he's a little boy who's learning to be emperor one day. But I don't know.
It just looks weird
It
though.
looks
It's like
weird.
why he looks like the mad scientist, right, nerd, who has made
Yeah.
a contraption, and every single kid on the playground is making fun of it. For him, like,
Yeah.
what's that on your head? What's that?
I'm gonna put him in D below Infernape, unless you want to put him in F. He
Oh
might-
no! If you look at my stream, he was already there.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, then let's get to Empoleon, and I'm just going to be quiet because Ray has
He's already in F tier. If there was a tier below F tier, as in burn in the deep dark pits of the abyss, he would be there. I hate Empoleon. I hate it. I hate it so much. Okay, let me talk about. So apparently, this is like become a therapy session for me right now. I will admit that. I have enough foresight to admit that. Let me talk about. Okay, please imagine that you are Ray back in the day, way long ago, however many like years consider that. Okay, let's say you have finally evolved your ugly Prinplup into what kind of looks like a cool design, and I will go into the design, don't worry, right? Into an Empoleon, and you're like, finally, Prinplup will stop sucking, and we have Empoleon who will do good things. It's a water and steel type. It's a great defensive type. Surely we can get through these battles. I lost every single battle using Empoleon. Empoleon died every time I used it. It did not matter. It just could not make enough damage. And then it just didn't have enough defense, and it just kept dying. I used it in freaking Crasher Wake's gym. I was 3 to 4 levels above it, and Crasher Wake killed my Empoleon. And at that point, I just literally said, nope. I turned off the game. I said, we're starting a new game. And I went with literally Turtwig, and the rest is history. You belong in F tier, son. It's so... Can you bring up... because right now, it's like... It looks blank on my side. But can you bring up Empoleon?
Yeah, I brought up Empoleon on my side.
Oh, gosh. Okay, never mind. I managed to break that, too.
1 second. Let me see why I broke it. Okay, I figured out why I broke it. Okay,
cool,
I figured it
cool.
out. Okay.
Excellent. Okay, so I think it's almost too overly designed, if that makes sense. Like, I like the sharp edges. The feet are really weird, but I think we've all just agreed that Empoleon feet just look wrong. It's fine. I like the gentleman aspect, because it's an emperor penguin, right? Of, like, the neckerchief being, like, the design of the belly.
Yeah.
And I like the sharp blades of it, but it almost looks too overly designed, and I think it's honestly because of the blue collar at the top.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it becomes too spiky then almost.
Right. So I think the Poseidon. I think he's mythologically based on Poseidon. Would we agree on that?
And yet he sucks.
I think the lace as the tummy of the it's like a gentleman's waistcoat kind of thing, but also not waistcoat, sorry. What is that called?
It's like the little like necktie collar thing, what Edward has.
Yes. We'll just call it a collar. I think it's cool. That's a cool idea, but then it gets broken up by that like blue wedgie.
Ascot? Isn't it like Ascot?
Oh, and Ascot, yeah.
My brain suddenly was like, it's ass something, and I was like, okay, good enough.
And I really like the idea of like the penguin beak becoming Poseidon's Triton. That is cool. But
I agree.
I feel like this is kind of a rule of cool design, rather than I feel so bad for the Japanese artist that I'm like tearing into right now, who I'm gonna say this design isn't well thought out. But I feel like there's just too many concepts that don't mesh together. I think the like random, I get it, steel type needs to be portrayed, but why claws? Why claws on penguin? If you want to put claws, put it at the end of the fin.
Yeah, or like something else, or like I also think like the feet also could have done better with like I think because the feet is like also weird. I think so. The feet is giving animal, like feral animal. The arms are giving like sword blade, which I'm like actually kind of okay with. But then you also have the elegant thing, and I'm just kind of like those are already really clashing elements.
Yeah.
And I was like, you need to like I think if they took out the spiky collar and they did something a little bit more sleeker and softer, or you know what I mean? I think it would
Cyber Together and
actually have
friends
worked
are raiding the
better
Bat
as something
Colony.
like more simple and understated. Oh, did you want to say hi to your raiders?
Oh, yeah, I typed a message, but thank you, Cyber, so much for rating. Hello, hello. So yeah, I would feel like I think they tried to get like a gentleman, well-trained swordsman feel out of it, but then you've also got the mythological like Poseidon thing going on. It's just like he's wearing too many hats.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
like
if they
had made it like a crown almost, or
Yeah.
like something more like distinguished, as you were saying, but also like
Yeah.
sharp enough to keep that, and then take away some of the middle blue elements, I think it would have worked.
yeah.
And then maybe if they had, you know, done the stats better and not made him suck, that would be even, you know, better. Did you say?
Okay, I'm gonna put him in C tier. I think he's my first C tier. You can put him in F.
If I could, I would put him lower. He was instantly an F.
All right, we got through the starters. Let's go to the bird. The bird.
Bald! My bald baby!
Starly. His Japanese name is Mukuru, which I think is so cute, and I wish that they gave him a more creative name in English. I will say that. He's
I
literally
like Starly because it's like Starling. I'm okay with it. Maybe it's because I actually really like Starling.
I like starlings too, but I just feel like it's a little it's too close to starling in my opinion. But I mean, we have Pidgey, so I don't know. It's literally just
And
taking
Ekans.
Pidgey and going with Starly. But I don't know. I think we could have gone with something cuter for such a cute Pokemon. I freaking love this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. Even if he's bald or I guess what is it, like receding hairline?
Yeah, he's got like a receding hairline.
I think he stands out for like being one of the basic bird Pokemons, if you know what I mean. I think it's like the stark use of patterns and color he used.
Oh, am I echoing? Oh, it's because my reverb was turned on. Thank you for letting me know.
Uh-oh.
That's not good.
Okay.
You were not echoing on my end, so I think it was
Yeah, it
definitely,
was
like,
just
OBS thing.
a filter. It was a filter over my voice from karaoke. Anyways, I like this guy. His shape language is strong. His color palette is one of my
Yeah.
favorites. I don't know, like warm gray, so inviting, with the sharp beak of just like I have the potential to be dangerous, but right now I'm just baby.
Yeah, I do agree with that. It really does feel like just baby for now.
A baby.
And I like the use of, because I feel like sometimes contrasting like dark colors and white colors sometimes can be a little, you have to be careful with that.
Yeah.
And I think they did it really solidly where they are like, here's a flash of white versus not black, so it's like, but like a shaded muted brown
Yeah.
that still makes you go, look at the face, and then look at the like, little chest, and
Yeah.
then there's very select orange is what I really like about that.
Yeah.
It's very well
Solid.
balanced.
And I think it's just like this is the starting bird. He definitely gives starting bird. I will say he's got the blank. What did you say it was in Korean?
Mung.
Mung face. He's got the mung
Like the
face too.
dong.
Yeah.
Yeah, like or like you can also say like, well, this is a little bit like, but 동그래 is like circular, like circly, like or like round. And
Oh.
sometimes it's kind of like also like sometimes I use it to describe when like a cat or like a pet is like looking at you like
동그래, like I don't know how to explain.
Aw. No, I get it. I
don't
feel
know.
like
I was like I'm saying a lot of Korean onomatopoeia words.
I love that though. I love learning languages, so like anything I can pick up it always makes me happy. So don't feel like you need to stop on my account. I'd say that Gen 4 is the first gen that really like starts putting that blank cute stare into Pokemon. The first 3 gens have a few, but a lot of them have like the sharp Ken Sugimori eyes or like complete round, but these like ovals with the white in the middle, you're gonna see it a lot in Gen 4.
You know why I think that is?
Hmm.
I think it's because of of Mudkip and Marsh Tom.
Oh, yeah, the
You know what I mean?
success
Because
of
people
them.
love how like Mudkip has like the "Nah," and then like Marsh Tom has like the stare into your eye.
Yes,
forever.
yes. So where
And then everyone was just like memeing it, and I think they went, "I see, taking notes."
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna see it a lot. Like, most Gen 4 Pokemon have it. So where are we putting him? I think he's a solid B under Piplup, maybe.
I'm stuck between B and A. I like him. Like, I actually might put him at near the end of either at the top of B because I think he beats Groudle, or at the bottom of A because I think for a bird Pokemon, like starter bird Pokemon, he's one of the ones that stand out really well for me.
That's true. For his purpose, he's A.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll
for his
put him in
purpose,
A.
it's A.
Yeah, okay.
But like definitely at the bottom of A tier because
Yeah.
it's still a basic bird like route
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Alright, Staravia, here we go. I like this, I like this, like, I like Staravia.
silly. He's silly.
Muku
like,
bird.
okay.
He's
Okay, you know what's weird about Staravia is everything about Staravia tells me I should not like his design,
Right.
and yet weirdly I like his design, and I don't know what it is.
I think it's just he's frumpy and like it's in a goofy way. He kind of looks like the seagull who steals your fries, you know?
mine.
he's a dork. Like, he is.
I was watching a video of like a seagull trying to get like they put 2 cookies on like a ledge, and then the seagull comes and tries to take it, and in its ever-loving greed, it not only misses the first one as it starts to fall because it flew right at the ledge, and then it was like missed the landing and it missed the cookie, and then as it's like falling off the ledge, it tries to grab the second cookie and miss it.
Aww.
And that's exactly what I can see this Pokemon doing, just like, oh, whoopsies.
Yeah. He's like the clumsy, annoying bird that like people hit with their broom to get out of their storefronts and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then like the little swirl is like somehow like annoying but charming, and you're just like, Staravia.
Yeah. I don't think he's a good design. Not
No.
nearly as good as Starly. The circle, like, on his head right next to that bright white star, and then, like, the weird M thing happening on his shoulders, and then the clean line to separate his flight feathers from his, plumage is just weird. He's weird.
Yeah, because Starly feels like a complete unit. Staravia feels like someone put a weird hood over the bird.
But I think it's his expression that makes him so endearing. I'm gonna put him in C.
I would say he's almost like because somehow despite this quirkiness, he like because I think if you just look at design, he's like a D. But I think when you look at like somehow all of it together, the quirkiness somehow makes him almost endearing.
Yeah, I would say
I would be like either high D or low C for me.
Yeah, he's low C for me. Alright, now we're gonna get to the coolest bird alive. I thought this
I feel
guy...
like people have 2 opinions, are only in 2 camps with this Pokemon.
Staraptor, predator Pokemon. Now, I will say, when I was young, I thought he was so freaking cool. I thought, like... I mean, Scene was cool. Like, we have to, like, think about this in context. When this Pokemon game came out, Scene was cool.
Yeah,
So-
no, he was cool. Okay, actually, you know what's weird? When I first Staraptor, I wasn't a big fan of it. I think I didn't like certain aspects of its design because it was so sharp and pokey.
Uh-huh.
Weirdly, though, I also didn't like playing, like, Gen 4 Pokemon games, right? But weirdly, though, when I went back to play them, I somehow started liking Gen 4 Pokemon games, and then weirdly, despite the fact that I know Staraptor's flaws, I really liked Staraptor as a Pokemon because it learned such a great variety of moves.
Yeah,
And then it's sitting,
attack
it was like my
stats.
ace in that game.
Yes.
And I was like, how are you so good? I'm
Yeah.
one of the very few starter bird Pokemon I ever actually like went all the way to the Elite Four with because it was
Yes.
just that good.
Yes, he's good.
He's just like he'll return you, he'll combat you, he'll brave bird you, and he'll roost you. That's literally his the moveset.
Exactly. I think I had the same exact moveset, but I really like the extra danger that they added to him. I like the extra sharpness. Like, even the tail feathers. I think the reason, like, the middle stage is not super, effective is because he's trying to be half round, half sharp, and it's, like, confusing, but now it's like, okay, we're all sharp. I think he was the first, like, hawk Pokemon as well.
I think you might be right, yeah.
I think he's super, super well done.
Wait, hold on. The first one was was Sparrow, Pharaoh, and then Pidgey, Pidgeotto, Pidgeot. And
Yeah.
then the second gen was Hoothoot. It was an owl.
Noctowl.
And then Gen 3 was a Swellow. Okay, gotcha.
Yes. So, I think he's great.
I'm okay. My only issue with him is that the sharpness, like you said, kind of contrasts with certain portions. I think though they still managed to pull it off, but for me, the head with his like sharp redness, as cool as it is, clashes a little bit with me in terms of shapes. That's the
Okay.
only thing I can give him, really, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I think it confuses me when I go from like just a little bit of like shape confusion when I look at Staravia versus Staraptor, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
But I
see.
still like him.
I'm gonna put him in A, right next to Starly. I like him.
I am probably gonna put him in B for me, but I still very much like him. If I include nostalgia, he goes up to an A for sure.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe I'll
keep him there. I think you can still give a really good argument of having Staraptor in A tier, in my opinion.
Yeah. Alright, we get to another S tier immediately.
It's either Bidoof
Or it's HM Slave, depending on
So,
what versions of the games you like to play.
he's called the Plump Mouse Pokemon, and his Japanese name is Beepa, which is so cute. I didn't like him when I first had the game. Number one, because rollout was really annoying to deal with. And number two, I think it was just like playground influence, where people, for some reason, I don't know if anyone else heard this like playground rumor, but apparently there's like this urban legend that if you name your Bidoof Purge and level it to level 100 in the daycare or something, it'll evolve into this horrible abomination, and it scared me so much as a kid that I never caught a Bidoof. I didn't even want to...
I was the opposite. I liked how Bidoof looked when I first played the game. I was like, oh, Bidoof looks kind of cute. Like, maybe I could consider like maybe adding it. It's adorable. And then I saw Bibarel and I just went, no.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I mean, I think, okay, this is gonna sound bad. My favorite thing about Bidoof though is its little hands and its butt, because I love the tail.
Cute.
The tail is so cute. It's so cute.
It's a cute Pokemon now that it doesn't have that urban legend attached to it. I've never met someone else who had that urban legend told to them, to the point where I think that one kid just like made it up, and it literally ruined my experience with everyone's favorite doof. So
you're like telling your siblings like, don't catch the Bidoof.
I hope
touch the Bidoof.
I hope you're happy with yourself. I don't know his name, but it was probably something like Maxwell. So
He just starts sneezing like, why do I suddenly feel a chill in the air?
So I would say he's B for me, but I know a lot of people would put him in S.
Oh no, I don't love his design that much. I don't like buck teeth like I don't know why. I think buck teeth you have to do it like, I think it's cute, but you have to use the design well, and I don't know if it makes sense, but I don't know if Bidoof uses the buck teeth design well. So I put him like I'm stuck between whether he's in front of Groddle or whether or not he's behind Groddle, because he's a cute design, which I think appeals to a lot of people, but I don't think anything of his design actually really stands out, whereas Groddle I think has a very solid design basis. So I'll probably keep thinking about it as we progress the B tier.
Yeah.
I'll match you for now.
Alright. Alright, now to talk about his evolution.
Okay, can I make
Go
this
off.
go... I'm sorry.
F.
there's like, I think honestly, there's only gonna be one Pokemon joining Empoleon in the F tier, and for me, you're looking at him. It's Beedrill.
I think the reason he goes in F is just because you could have followed this up a lot cuter and you didn't.
It's okay. It doesn't make sense because like Bidoof looks cute. Like they were clearly going mascot cute, and
Yeah.
like the only good thing I can say about Beedrill is he looks like he would give like, because he looks cuddly, right? He
Yeah.
would give nice hugs, but he's a water Pokemon, so it's like now I know he's gonna be a damp beaver.
Yeah,
And-
but I think it's his head. Something's wrong with his head. Like
It's the weird crest. Like you know how there's like his eyes, and then he has like a like different colored mask crest with his like red. So with the red nose, with the eyes, and then with the crest like popping out, he looks like too comical, like a clown.
Yeah, I don't know. I almost want to try to just take his head off and redesign the head only, and
Yeah.
I think he would have been fine. It's something wrong with the head. I think it's like the floof. The fact that he doesn't have ears anymore. I know beavers don't have ears. Okay, I get it. Like they have ears that are so tiny and like watertight. So I get like that. But then like trying to have like the 3 tuft.
Or like at least change the eyes to something.
Yeah. Also, he's
more
bald.
similar to Bidoof.
He's bald on top.
I don't. He's so bald.
Yeah.
I don't want to be part of his baldness, you guys. I don't want to be part of his baldness. He just looks wrong, really. He just looks
not bald. He has
wrong.
floof
And
on
for
his
that-
head, only on the sides. Tearby Sugoi.
It's or like okay, you know what they did for Bundleby or whatever
Yeah,
in
yeah.
like X and Y.
Yeah.
So okay, that kind of made sense because yes, like the baby, like the younger evolution looks cute, but it also clearly has a lot of semblance of being like clearly gonna be a little goofy, right?
Yeah.
And when you see the evolution, yeah,
Bigger
it's
bee.
incredibly like goofy, but minus the color, it kind of makes sense progressional wise. Whereas
Mhm.
Bidoof, I think, was like it's cute, and then it's like, what did you become, my son? Is kind of how
Yeah.
I feel about it.
Yeah.
No, he's bald. Tiramisu, he's bald. I will demonstrate because I understand. Oops. I understand
Threatening.
baldness. I just want to explain because look at this. Look at this. Look at this baldness.
Look at it. Look at it. I am the expert, unfortunately, in balding.
B-Barrel feels uninspired, and that's putting it
Yeah.
lightly. I feel
It's like they half-heartedly tried.
I feel like I don't know. I think they just I don't know.
Or
He's trying to be the furret centret of this generation,
no,
and I don't know.
no, that's an insult to Ferret, and I will not be in this household where Ferret is one of those where I'm like, go up, my son, go as far as you
Yes.
can because you can go up far.
Yeah.
They tried. It's just it's like
I
I
like
understand-
the ideas. I like the feet. I like the tail. I don't like the head. Something needs to change with that head.
but I don't know what I understand. It's weird because it's the first time I've seen someone where I can pinpoint what they were thinking with each aspects, but cohesively it does not work for the head, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. It like you just look at it and you're like, no,
No.
buddy, no.
Yeah, it needed a little more time in the oven. He needs to be
Yeah.
cooked
Yeah.
for a little longer. He's
It actually
underbaked.
looks like it was in the oven and then someone out, and that's why it looks like the way it does.
Yeah, souffle. All right, let's go to Cricketot. My boy.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for the gifted subs again.
Woo!
You crazy dips. Again, please save your money. I'm getting worried about you. Alright, I'm sorry to interrupt that.
No worries. Are you on Cricketot?
Okay, he's so classic because of the little, like... I
Yeah.
can't do it justice. And, like, my favorite thing is he clearly is supposed to be, like... Okay, the only issue I have with Cricketot is it doesn't have the music as much as I want it to for what it is. You know what I mean? It looks...
As someone who
Where's the music aspect?
it's in the design.
wondering.
Let me talk about this a little bit. So his
Or is it supposed to be like a clef at the top for its ears?
I think he's specifically supposed to be a choir boy. So if you look at like
Oh,
the cummerbund and the the coat and everything, the tailcoat, and then I think he's just supposed to be like a bell cricket who's a choir boy. And then of course the top, I do feel like they are gramophone inspired, like antenna.
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wonder if it doesn't translate as well. I do like the design. I think there is a little bit of like shapeness that
Yeah.
it may need to slightly improve, but I
Right.
love like the pop little collar.
I love how it's clearly just a little tiny bug baby boy.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that a lot. Like it's a round boy, and I can really feel it being a bug.
Yeah.
And when it sings, you're just like, very good, very good, very
Yes.
good, very good, very good.
I'd put him in C. I feel like he's just a little,
Yeah.
like, he's good, but like,
Maybe needs to improve on a couple things.
right,
Or,
because
like,
I
you know what
didn't
mean?
catch a Cricketot until I saw Cricketoon and see what he was gonna be.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Okay, oh my gosh. Cricketoon is like, okay, I'm trying not to talk about Cricketoon. Oh, are we
no,
on
we
Cricketoon
can
yet?
just move to Cricketoon. I
Okay.
already put him in C.
Cricketoon, I do not use bug Pokemon in my game. Cricketoon, when I saw it, actually made me consider catching Cricketot because of how much I love the cry, the way it's like very like supposed to be an instrument. It has like its little bows for like the instrument, and then the way it goes.
Yep.
I love it a lot. I think it makes a lot of sense. And
Yes.
for a bug Pokemon that has like a lot of aspects that are kind of like doesn't appeal to, I would say, a lot of people's senses. The
Mhm.
fact that they managed to like morph, it's a bug. It has a lot of aspects like a mustache and like certain like black red like interesting like coloring that can be a little off-putting. Despite that, it overall just becomes such a nice cohesive design that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whoop!
Yeah. I love this Pokemon. And it has
almost
nothing to
wanna
do with
put
the
him in
fact
A.
that I'm a classically trained musician at all. But it's
No,
inspired.
absolutely not. We don't have any bias in this household.
It's inspired. This is one of my favorite bugs. I only wish that here's my like gripe about Pokemon. They need to start letting bugs win. That's not just Heracross. I'm so
No,
sad.
They need to they need to stop. Okay, it would be better if they like also found a way to either buff up the bug Pokemon stats, or if that doesn't make sense, then do change it so that bug Pokemon have a chance as a typing. Because like, okay, I was so confused when they made fairy type or bug types or fairy types resistant to bug. I was like, you already made fairy types OP. Bug Pokemon do not need a further buff. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, I feel like
bug-
almost instead of fixing bug, they just made fairy.
Well, okay, I love the fairy type, but even I was like, okay, they're a little bit too OP, not gonna lie. Or, okay, and I understand, because someone in your chat is like, so many bug types have crappy stats for no reason.
Yeah.
I totally agree with some of it makes sense, right? It's supposed to be a bug Pokemon, but I'm like, when you look at bugs to the proportion of their size, they're actually really powerful. So yes, have some bugs that are flimsy as insects, but like have other bugs that are like terrifyingly strong attack or defense.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, it does not make sense to me, like, what they're thinking. I'm like, who on your team, who in the main management of Pokemon, like, hates bugs, is my question.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it actually, the weird thing is Pokemon was inspired by bug collecting. So I feel like they need to give them more love. But
And yet,
yeah, if you're creeped out by
And yet-
bugs, Cricketoon might be a weird design to you, but I love bugs, so
it's interesting because but Pokemon does such a good thing with bugs where because bugs, I think, okay, so I also like bugs, or I'm not very creeped out by bugs, to be honest, unless it's like a cockroach, and that's because it's a cockroach. or maggots and flies, but that's because it's maggots and flies. But like I think insects have or like bugs have a lot of like weird shape languages to humans, like mandible things that like
Mhm.
don't I think correlate well to what we're used to seeing. But Pokemon does a really good idea or like good job of like anthropomorphizing and making them way more like appealing to the human eye, if that makes sense. Like like okay, Cricketune is not a good example of this. I think it's just an interesting design that they went for and what they decided to incorporate.
Mhm.
But like there's like other bugs that where like you're like, oh yeah, no, that is an insect, but it takes you a while for you to go, yeah, it's a bug, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it.
No, I get it.
Okay, okay.
All right, I think I'm gonna put him in B tier above Grotle, below Piplup. That's
I don't think he beats Piplup, but I also put Piplup in the C tier, so maybe that's why.
all good, all good.
Oh, wait, Kricketot? Sorry, not Cricketune, right? Kricketot?
Cricketot's in C below Staravia for me, and then
Okay, that's why,
Cricketune
that's
is
why.
in B next to Piplup.
Yeah. I don't know. I really like designs that everything about it logically tells me people shouldn't like the design, and yet when people do like the design or like it somehow makes sense, I want to give them an extra point. Like maybe above because Grottle is also in B tier for me, so I'm like Grottle's a solid design. It's just the armadillo issue that I have. Maybe I'll stick it right below Grottle then.
I just feel like the shape design is a little better than Grottle because I can tell like immediately that he's supposed to be a metronome, but he can also he's just so good. Anyways,
he's there's just so many things about him that when you see him, you instantly go music.
Yeah, he's really good. All right, are we moving on to Shinx?
Yes, my baby, my child, my love.
Okay, I have a story about Shinx.
I'm ready.
He was my first shiny, and I did not know what a shiny was. I was just like, why is this Shinx yellow? Why is this Shinx yellow? I'm just gonna catch him. Luckily, I caught him. And I did not know that, like, shiny Shinx is one of the most sought-after shinies in the whole world. Now he's a Luxray, he's named Sparky, and I've brought him through Pokemon Home to all my games.
Oh, what a good baby. Shinx is such a solid design. I almost want to put it in S tier, I'm not gonna lie, or very, very high up in A tier.
No, I put him in S.
Top.
In fact, I'm sad that he, like, got phased out as, like, he could have been, like, a Pikachu cousin, but Pachirisu gets all the love for some reason. I don't know why the anime was
okay, wait. Pachirisu gets all the love because of the Pokemon,
anime?
Like, Pachirisu not only looks like, I like the colors of the white, blue, and, like, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
But Pachirisu, remember, it also won the world championship in the most crazy way possible.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Shinx's design a little more than Pachirisu, but, you know.
Yeah, I do agree. No, I agree with you. I like the four-leggedness. I'm not a huge... Like, the squirrel thing is cute, I won't lie, and I think it's like an A, like, tier, but I think something about Spinx with the use of, like, the only issue I have with Spinx is that Spinx almost looks like it's wearing pants.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be battery, like, the one side dark, one side light of a battery, like a positive and negative charge.
Totally what it is.
Yeah.
That makes sense, but I've always liked Shinx design. I think it's very, very cute. I think there's a lot of things people like. I think when people look at Shinx, I think it activates those creative neurons in your brain that makes you want to do, like, you like the design, but you feel like you can, like, elevate it by doing different things or different themes with it. That's what Shinx feels like for me, which is how I feel like S tiers need that.
S tier.
And
S tier.
I agree. S tier, S tier. When I saw Shinx, I remember the first thing I thought was, I need to catch this Pokemon.
Yeah, he's so cute. He's so cute. He looks... He's got, like, a little spunk to him, too, which I love. I love Pokemon
I think it's, like, the red nose.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Something about it just kind of feels a little cheeky because of that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. Ready to go to Luxio?
Yes. Which is somehow, I think, a very good... Actually, a really good mid-evolution.
This is, like, one of the best mid-evolutions, honestly. I feel like... There isn't a part of the Shinx line that I dislike, or I'm like, oh, I can't wait till he becomes a Luxray. I don't even feel that way because he looks awesome as a Luxio too.
It's like the perfect. Okay. Mid evolutions. I'm not gonna say this. I'm not gonna say it's easy. Mid evolutions, so hard to do. Luxio is a perfect mix of I can see exactly where this Pokemon is going. It feels completely natural. Unlike Magikarp and Gyarados, it feels completely natural. I see the progression. It looks great. It's like the Star Tail is so nice as a design. The colors are so nice as a design. And then, like, honestly, because it's a mid evolution, there's always a little bit of awkwardness. But as a mid evolution, I think it's like also a very good term, like in terms of like what it's supposed to translate as.
Yeah, I would say, like, this is where the lion, like, I would say Shinx isn't, like, super obviously a lion cub. I, honestly, when I first played it, I thought he was a mouse. And then when he became a Luxio, I'm like, oh, it's a lion! And this is, like, it gets the two concepts of, like, a battery lion to just elevate it to the next level where it's like, oh, okay, you're clarifying on your design, but also his mane is coming in because he's a adolescent lion, which I think does a really good job. I'm gonna put Luxio in A.
Oh, I did the same thing. I moved him above Turtwig for me, but I say like near Turtwig is a pretty good analysis, and Luxio is only an A tier mostly because of the third one that's coming up.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean?
Freaking Luxray. We're talking about the, like, Cadillac of Pokemon right now.
Oh my gosh, yes. I was always so mad that they designed his like stats and moves so badly.
Yeah, sometimes
it made me so angry.
Sometimes I wish instead of like adding types in retrospective, they would just rebalance stats. Do they even do that? Do they ever rebalance stats of Pokemon in retrospective?
Sometimes, not a lot, but just a little bit. They sometimes do that. If they need to nerf or if they need to like buff a little bit. My issue is Luxio is a physical attacker, and yet he doesn't, except for Thunderfang, he knows like nothing else in terms of
needs,
thunder,
like Volt Tackle and stuff.
Yeah, and like, and then. But also he's not bulky, so it's like Volt Tackle is not good. So then you're like sitting there going Thunderbolt, and you're just sitting there like, I can't use Luxray to its full potential. Yeah,
I could see that. I used mine as like the beauty contest winner, so because I was like, everyone needs to see my shiny. Everyone needs to see my like rare Pokemon that glitters when I take it out of the Pokeball. Again, I didn't know what a shiny was, but, you know, I was like, this one's special. I gotta show the world. So Sparky was my beauty contest. He didn't actually battle much. I will say, like, he's like that perfect balance of like edge, but also pet. Again, with like the Torterra thing. If I could change one thing about him, I would make his Scaleras not red, just because I feel bad for him. I think he looks eepy.
Yeah, well, I think it's because it's so where they very just used a little bit of red, now there's too much red. I think if they had okay, I love the shape of Luxray. I think what they could have changed is rather than making his like black fur at the top so flat, I think they could have kept a little bit to like more swoosh designs like the rest of his designs. And then maybe either make his sclera like black as well, so it almost fades it into like that like edginess of like the rest of the black floof. And then the yellow bands look just a little bit, like from a distance they look kind of good. Up close sometimes they look a little startling. So I feel like they could be a little bit of adjustment. It's like so close to perfection. But also like the language shape of all of like Luxray is just so beautiful. Like, he stands out when you look at him.
Like I said, I just think of the like Pokemon coordinator. I think of the beauty vibes, and like it just happened to be in my game that I had a shiny Shinx, and like he turned out to be so vogue. So I'm just saying, like he was the perfect design for me. I'm putting him in S tier.
That makes sense.
I like the nostalgia glasses right here.
I'm so stuck up between S and A, like, because he's definitely, I think it's because he almost pigeonholes himself so hard into the slot of being of being Luxray and the blue and the black, I have a little bit of a hard time seeing him expand beyond that, but he's such a great shape language. Like, it's like so appealing to my eyes. It's just not perfect is my only issue.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna
okay.
leave him at the top of at the top of A tier.
Uh-huh.
And I think he's going to be very hard to beat. I don't think there's many Pokemon that can like beat him in terms of like getting past him into S tier.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now we're gonna talk about. Oh no, there's one missing in the tier list. Uh-oh.
Badoo?
No, the mid
Not Badoo?
evolution of Badoo. Roselia. Roselia isn't here.
Oh, you know why? Because it doesn't count. Because it's from Gen 3.
Oh, it is? I didn't know. So I
Yeah.
didn't play Gen 3 until I was an adult.
Okay. So what they did in Gen 4 was that they did two things. They made more baby Pokemon, right? And then they made like big like further evolutions for like certain one stagers.
And
So Roselia was a one stager, Magmar was a one stager, Lickitung was a one stager, Tangela was a one stager, and some of those they made baby forms like Magma, like the Magby is actually from second gen, but
yeah.
other ones they like gave them both. So Roselia's not there because it's in Gen 3. It's in the same bushes as Lamise and Volbeat.
Got it. So I would say that like that's a good idea of them to do, especially for Gen 4, but also like I wish that they would do that more instead of just like making a new Rose Pokemon. Just add on the Rose Pokemon you already have. I know they do that with like regional variants sometimes, but I don't know, they could do more with that.
They can do more or like take more like single stage poke. Like I know they kind of did it for Stanler, right? Because now we have Grandpa Deer.
Yeah.
But I feel like they should definitely explore that concept way more.
Yeah. So how do you feel about Badoo?
Oh, Badoo?
Yeah.
Honestly, a solid baby Pokemon. You can definitely see where they're going. I think my only issue is that it doesn't. Okay, I don't know about you. It doesn't. I like when you look at Roselia, the blue and the flowers suddenly almost feel like they came out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
Does that make sense?
idea is that his arms are stretched over his head and like are forming the
like
bud.
bloom into flowers.
Yeah. But
I agree with that. It's like a very simple design and it's cute. I just think that you could almost use it. Well, no. I forget because it has Roselia's like dress or like shirt depending on if it's a guy or a girl. Yeah. I still think it's a pretty solid design.
I would say
Maybe
when I first played Pokemon, I didn't like Badoo because I thought it looked like a Mario character.
okay, that's true. It does have a little bit of like a. Are you a Pokemon or like what? Where are you from? I do like the design a lot. I do agree that it doesn't quite fit in as well with the other gens.
Yeah. I would say
Okay, no, there's some like Chimecho.
Yeah.
No, but Chimecho has certain aspects that feel like a Pokemon. Badoo is like slightly underneath that line somehow.
I'd
It's
say
like almost
he's
too-
like a solid C. He's an inoffensive. He's right next
I'm
to
gonna put him-
Kricketot.
I'm gonna put him I'm gonna put him in B, but at the end of B tier.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
for me
yeah.
Personally, just because I do like how they've managed to kind of bridge it with Roselia, with like the arms and then it blowing, and then them
Yeah.
having a little bib already,
He's
and it's a
cute.
baby Pokemon,
He's
so the
cute
bib makes sense
for sure, and
It's very cute.
He's like
I just
Gen
do
4
agree with you. It
Togepi.
doesn't feel like a Pokemon. Yeah.
yeah. I know we also have Happiny in this list, but Happiny doesn't invoke the same Togepi vibes, even though they tried.
Papini, they went too baby, and I think less chancy, if that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, Roserade though.
Ooh, Roserade? Okay, I like the concept. I think, okay, personally, I think it looks a little awkward because of the fact that it's a bud shape for the head, right?
Yeah.
But I think the concept and how they really leaned into it is pretty damn solid.
I think again, it's one of those Pokemon that calls the player to imagine. For sure.
Yeah.
I would say like the rosebuds are weird. I know that they had to simplify roses to be like full bouquets on the hands. I don't love the way they did simplify those though. Like, I think Roselia's roses look better than Roserade's.
I need to look at Roselia's. Like...
Yeah, we can look at Roselia really quick.
Oh my god, Roselia has way better
Yes.
the heck?
Yeah. So I'm sad that they like oversimplified the roses on Roserade's hands. However, I think the concept is really cool, and I like, in a way, it can look like kind of like Tuxedo Mask from Sailor Moon, or more like a femme fatale, depending on like the way you're looking at things, and depending on like if you got a boy or a girl. I don't know, I just feel like this gets kids like, I don't know, vibes pumping. I'm gonna put Roselia.
I will say this, when I was a kid, I used to think, how does Roserade do anything?
Right. How does Scyther do anything?
How do you pick up anything? Right?
Yeah.
And I think they were a little bit, maybe that's why they simplified it. They were too afraid to ask the questions we're asking.
Yeah. I'm gonna put him maybe right behind Bidoof in B tier. Maybe a little higher. No, it's good. It's good there. Especially because I see some good ones coming up. But like,
so I was like, I put Star Raptor way too low on my B tier, so I was like, hold on, he needs to just a little bit. Okay, there we go.
Alright.
Yeah, I wish they had just done a little bit better with the awkward sheep language that they have going on.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. I kind of want Roserade, the Roserade line, to get a variant, regional variant, to see the concept redone.
Yeah, that would be very interesting, actually.
Yeah. Alright. Do you want to go to Cranidos? Let me pop in a lozenge, too. I'll be right back.
Alright.
Hello, chat.
Now I want to see Mario enemies with the Pokemon art style. Doesn't Alpha Rad have something like that? But it's not, okay, not the Pokemon art style, but it's like Mario, but in the style of like the game as Pokemon. Yeah. You could always do that one. Also, bald. So bald. So actually, you know what? I will be bald in solidarity, you guys. Okay, that did not work. I am a failure at this. Guys, VTuber. There we go. Excellent. Perfection. Look at this. Look at my baldness. Cranidos, I love. I think, okay, I'm trying not to go too much into the details. So I'm doing my best to, like, not go ahead. But I do like the fact that now I can match what Cranny does. Look at this. We're both bald buddies. You guys think I can make... Okay, I think the funniest thing for me is for the official art for Cranidos, I like the fact that it's like a glistening bald. I get it, it's like a hard helmet, but like, come on, it's bald. It's bald. It must have so much brain damage. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Are you back?
Yes.
No. Welcome back. I decided to be bald in solidarity with Cranidos.
Cranidos is the definition of bald.
Do you want to start off with Cranidos, or?
Yeah.
Do you want me to start off?
You start off so I can remember. I need to remember what dinosaur he's based off of really quick.
Shoot. Check Bulbapedia maybe and see if they have it.
Apache Cephalosaurus. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this guy. So I think
Look at him.
from the bald is intentional. That was my point.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's interesting because, like, okay, the angle they chose for him is the best angle they could have chosen for him, if that makes sense. Because I've seen him in other iterations, and it's like, oh, you look awkward, bro.
I'm sure he looks awful in 3D.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I think I I remembered I saw it like a side view of him, and I was like, "Jeez, Louises! I did not realize how really like odd
Awkward.
it was."
Yeah.
Cranidos 3D model.
Well, yeah, let's look that up.
Oh my gosh. Okay, it's like kind of disturbing because it almost
Oh
looks like he
gosh.
has an egg growing out of his head.
Yeah. I thought that the big head was kind of like foreshortening, but it's apparently like in the 3D version it is not. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I was like, they chose the best angle to like minimize how off-putting it was, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Having said that, I think the fact that it's clearly based off that dinosaur, it makes a lot of sense. I
Yeah.
think it is overall a very solid design. Even if at other angles it makes me go,
Yeah, I'm gonna put him in C, right in the middle of C.
I agree.
However,
Yeah, I
Rampardos
agree
is
with you.
super cool. I know he's over designed with the amount of spikes. I know it's too much. And I know that like the fin on his back makes it weird, and so is like the
Mhm.
shelf on his head. I know there's a lot of
Mhm.
things, but for some reason, like as a kid, I really wanted one.
You were like, give me the egghead Pokemon,
Yeah.
please.
I don't know, something about him just was cool to me.
I think it's like the way they okay. So I think part of it is Cranidos and Rampardos are I think one of those Pokemon that when they're in 3D, you're kind of like okay, Rampardos less so, but definitely Cranidos. You're kind of like, oh, they look awkward. Whereas I think Rampardos, because of the way the body is set up with like the arms and the spikes, they look better in certain like action poses at certain angles that you could do better in pixel style, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
these were not. These dinosaurs were not meant to be like shown at like front-facing angles.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
Rampardos is better, like not better, but like I think Rampardos. It's interesting. Okay, it's weird because other times when I look at Rampardos from other angles, it looks fine. But weirdly, I think okay, this art of Rampardos has the opposite problem that the art of Cranidos has. The art of Cranidos was the best possible angle and pose for it. This pose of Cranidos somehow highlights the issues with like the design, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the silhouette is kind of weird in this pose for sure.
Yeah, and it's like showing off too much of the spikes, whereas if you were
Yeah.
like looking at it from like a different angle, like the front head, you would just be like, oh, not too many spikes. Oh, you can't really see the fin as much. But the way they drew it, it's like you can see the weird back fin, you can see all the spikes, and then the forehead, you can see how
Yeah.
pointy it is, and it's like
I like
Whoa,
a lot
whoa,
of his
whoa, whoa, whoa,
card
whoa.
art though. Like he looks really good in other angles.
that's what I'm saying. Like the art of Cranidos, or not Cranidos, Rampardos, they literally chose the worst angle, and for Cranidos, they chose the best angle. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
So
Is there
not-
one that we can like? That's a good example of it.
yeah. Let me
Oh,
open
yeah.
this.
Yeah,
in a
see?
new tab. Where he's
Yeah, see,
looking
that
back. Yeah.
is cool. Like he has like that dinosaur feel. The fin is not too bad. The horns are hidden by the rest of it, so it doesn't feel like too overly designed.
Yeah.
It's just that picture where you're just kind of like, oh,
yeah.
that is a lot of spikes. What's going on?
Yeah, he still has an egghead, but he's my egghead. He's my boy. He's B for boy.
Yeah, I think he's like, yeah, I agree. He's somewhere in the B tier.
Yeah.
I just think they did him dirty with the art, with the official art.
Yeah. Okay. Next fossil Pokemon.
No,
This is
I
one
have
that
issues with
I
this
didn't
line.
get. I thought he was like a bull. I couldn't see the dinosaur in him. I know that like he's also based on a dinosaur.
Not it's the one that's like has like the plate to like shield itself or whatever on the front,
Yeah.
right? It's almost like a triceratops, but like also not quite. I think that it's like a type of triceratops or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Is it this? Flamboyant horned dinosaur, Montana, maybe? Maybe this? Yeah,
Maybe?
I would say
It's
so,
hard to
because
tell.
Bastion...
Oh, someone in your chat said try Protoceratops.
Protoceratops, thank you.
What is
Oh,
this music
yeah,
from?
yeah.
N?
I think this is,
Gen 5?
Oh, good question. Yeah, it's probably Gen 5.
I don't know why, because I haven't played Gen 5 in like a bit, except Black and White 2. So I was kind of like, why does it give me like the father of N vibes?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Oh yeah, that's definitely, yeah, I see it.
Thank you, Edward. Okay. So I think the concept of these Pokemon are pretty decent. I think a steel, like, because they're trying to add more steel types, right? Adding a steel dinosaur is cool. This is the obvious choice for a steel dinosaur. It didn't read as a dinosaur to me, for some reason as a kid. I thought this was like a bull, and I'm like, why is it a fossil if it's a bull?
So it read to me as a dinosaur because of the feet and like a little bit of like the fact that it's shield. My issue is that it, I guess this is more of a Bastion issue that later on.
Yeah.
But when you look at the evolution, I feel like I did not realize for a while that they were from the same line, even though they're the same colors.
Yeah.
Because they feel so radically different.
I see.
That I was like, I was like, where's the middle stage? Because I think that we're missing a middle stage here.
Yeah.
He's cute, but he's so there's certain parts I like that like kind of appeal shape-wise, but he's so simple, or that it doesn't quite click almost.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna say he's D. He's just not, he needs more time in the oven. And then for me, I'm
like,
so sorry if people like these Pokemon. Sorry, like my girl cuteness bias is coming out, but I don't like this guy.
Okay, so there's portions of his design that I actually like. So like it just doesn't make sense because like I get that they were going for like, I don't know, it felt like they okay, so they clearly looked at the dinosaur more here and added that. So I like the way they did the lakes. I like that they incorporated a lot of the dinosaur, but I think the crest, like the way like it looks like doors or windows, feels really awkward. It doesn't feel like a pattern. And it almost feels awkward because of all of the bones, like tusks they have added. I think like if they had I get it, it's a shield, but I think if they had, it's like an ancient shield, but I think it could have been executed a bit better.
He's supposed to be like a bastion, like a bastion plus a dinosaur.
Yeah.
So he's supposed to look like a castle. I think it's cool.
But it looks, yeah, but it looks awkward. Like I feel like it could be better executed.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm trying to, okay, but the thing is that I said that and then I was like, how? And I was like, don't know how, but I feel like something about the shape language could be more appealing.
I think, I don't know. I don't know how to fix him, but I wouldn't make him in the first place. Sorry. I'm sorry. I think the concept is cool.
You rejected the very basis of him. I feel like he's, I don't want to say he's D tier because his concept's cool, but I don't want to put him, I feel like he belongs in the C tier because I feel like it could have been better done.
I've already put him in F tier. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
His concept's cool.
Yeah.
But it's just like, okay, you know what? I have Monferno in D tier, so I can't do that.
So here's my logic. I just don't like his design, but I think that for someone who likes strong-looking Pokemon or like is more on that masculine design area, they would really appreciate this design. It's just not me. I like the cute Pokemon. I'm sorry.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm gonna leave him. I understand him. I just think it could have been executed better, which is why he's like CD for me, is how I feel about it.
Yeah. Alright. You want to do all the Burmese at once?
I mean, okay, I won't lie. There's certain Burmese that I like better than other Burmese.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you want to know which one it is?
Do you like the plant cloak the best, and then the trash cloak
Yes,
in the
because
middle, and then
yes,
sandy cloak
yes.
the least?
I like the concept. I just think that when they evolve, like Wormadin as grass looks better, and then the other ones just are like they don't read as like trash or like other stuff. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Like I would put Burmy and like the other I would put Birdie at C and then the other birdies at like D.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool gimmick, not the greatest design.
Yeah. I mean, bagworms are kind of cool, but
They are.
I don't like Wormadam very much.
I don't either. I just know that I like the grass one better than I like the other Wormadin.
Yeah.
And I like Burmy better than I like the Wormadin designs. So they automatically go a little bit higher up.
I've got Wormadams, so I've got like C for leaf Burmy, and then I've got like half the Burmese in D plus the leaf Wormadam, and then everything else in F. I'm so sorry, like, these are all obviously like professional designs, but it's my tier list.
You're like, my opinion is blah here, guys.
Exactly. Okay, so
Alright,
we
I'm
got...
happy where I placed them.
Next, we've got Mothim. I think Mothim was also one of those ones that was added to an evolution, right?
Well, Mothim is actually not. So Mothim is the evolution of Burmese.
What do you
when Burmese are
mean?
female, they turn into Wormadin. When they are male, they turn into Mothims.
What? I had no
Yeah.
clue!
Yeah, so that was a whole thing. So because people didn't really play with those Pokemon, nobody like knew, or like it wasn't really widely like widespread knowledge. But this is true. Wormadins are female Burmese basically, and Mothimins are male. It's because it's like I think it's like the bagworm cycle. I'm not 100%, but they wanted. That's why this is why I did not put them in like D or F tier, because the line itself has really cool concepts. Right? I just think design-wise, it don't look the greatest.
I see. Okay, and that's like in a way also like being a counterpart to Combi, because Combi can only have like the female evolve into the big. Okay, now I get it.
But see, Bernie also has a location like concept as well. So that's why they like really were like they played around more, I would say, with the mechanics than they did with the design. Is how I feel about Bernie.
Yeah, there's like always those gimmick Pokemon that no one knows how to use. I like his design actually. I think the silhouette's strong. I'm gonna put him all the way in B, which is sad because
Really?
I like the silhouette on the edge of the wings with the really strong horns and the contrast. Like, this is a good design.
I like his design. I think though it's very just moth, which is why I was kind of like C with a cool design. So I put him up a little bit, like here. I think my only want and wish is that it's like why it's so sad that Mothim didn't get some sort of nod towards the location. I don't know if this is because of like the bagworm cycle.
Yeah.
But it makes me sad that regardless of the location, all male Burmese will just turn into the same looking Mothim, and I wish they had added like just a slight change in difference to like the body or something, just to indicate where they came from.
I see. Yeah, interesting. I didn't know this. I'm learning something new about the Pokemon game that I had literally 300 hours in. Yeah.
Okay, do you know when I found out about Mothim?
When?
I found out when I was playing X and Y. So I was obsessively... Okay, let me put it this way. Before I hit Gym 2, I was like level 50 for my team. And the reason why is all I did for like 109... I think someone was like, how many hours do you have? And I had a ridiculous amount. So they thought I finished the game. And I was like, no. They're like, what level are you? I was like, 50, 60. They're like, how did you not finish the game? I was like, I haven't even beat the second gym. All I did was the mansion that was the fighting one. I bred Pokemons, Wonder Traded them, and then I did the berries. And in the berries, there's a lot of Burmese and Wormadens. So when I caught
Oh.
them and played around with them, that's when I found out. I was like, holy shit, this is like, there's like, I was like, this is where Motham came from. I was like, oh. So like, it's definitely something where it's kind of like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't know that. Very cool, but nobody used to, so nobody found out.
Okay, well, maybe I'll put them in C next to Burmy, just because the gimmick you told me about wasn't well designed. However...
I just wish they had just a little bit of a reference.
Yeah, maybe just
But they
like the
didn't.
inside of the wings or the antenna being the color
Yeah.
of the... Yeah. I see.
Yeah, just a little bit. That's all I wanted.
Are we ready to move on to the best pug Pokemon, Combi?
No, the best bug Pokemon.
Well, okay, in Gen 4, you know what? I'll give it to that. I'll give it to him. Combi. Combi is such a friend shape.
His name is Mitsu Honey in Japanese.
That's adorable!
Yeah, and as placeholder shrimp pointed out in my chat, it's combination. It's a pun. It's not just honeycomb and bee, but it's also combination of comb bees.
That's fucking clever. I'm so sorry. That deserved the clicker, but like that's so clever.
Yeah,
That's so clever.
I love this.
It makes me sad that only the it makes sense that only the male the males don't evolve and only the females do.
Yeah.
But God, the percentage chance. Also, wait. Also, a lot of bees are female, so it's like what?
Yeah, the percentage chances makes it really hard. In fact, my first comb bee was male, and I took him out of my team because I was like, he's lagging behind, and I'm so sorry. You're so cute, but I can't use you anymore. Not knowing how to get a Vespiquen.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then
Yeah.
I think I remember someone telling me I trained up my combi because I wanted to be a Vespiquen, and then it just never did, and that's when I found out later it's because it was a boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was male combi the first dead-end Pokemon? Let me think.
No,
So they
think
introduced genders, I think, in like definitely we had it in Gen 3. No, we had it in Gen 2 because of Attract.
Yeah, Ralts was the first one that was like sexual dimorphism kind of
Well,
evolution.
no.
Right?
So no. So Glade is actually a Gen 4.
Again with me
Yeah.
not knowing how these work.
So if you I believe if you look down below on the list, you'll see Glade on there. Yeah,
Oh.
Glade's right there. He's next to Porygon Z or Porygon 2.
Okay,
Porygon
yeah,
2,
yeah.
I think. Yeah. So the reason why like Ralts is not Ralts, but Gardevoir is kind of a funny joke is that before Gen 4, right? Gen 3, you could have a male Gardevoir.
Okay.
And then just be really confused, like, huh? And then they were like, okay, Blade. But then I find it funny that you can still evolve male Curlias into Gardevoir if they wish. If they're like, you know what? I don't want to be a knight. I want to be a fancy, flowy, like, fairy type. Or, as back then, like, psychic type.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be like a what is it called? Like a dancer? Cause like Ralts,
I
Curlia, and then like it's supposed to be like a dance fighter. I don't know.
Well, I think so, but I think, weirdly, Gardevoir... correct me, I think the Japanese name for Gardevoir is, like still has knight in the name.
Oh, really?
I think so, but I have to double check. I don't remember.
Okay,
was like-
wait, why am I searching Gardevoir? Don't
Hold
do
on,
that without
Gardevoir.
safe search on, by the way.
Japanese name. Hold on.
Oh. Yeah, Sir Knight.
Yeah, I was right. Gardevoir's name is Sir Knight. And so it's also supposed to be a knight, right, as well. And that's
Oh.
why if you look at the Pokedex entry, it talks a lot about, like, self-sacrifice and things like that.
I see. Interesting.
Bye, Sig. Thank you for stopping
I always
by.
thought when they had like the Gardevoir and Gallade dimorphism, I thought it was like magician versus knight. Like one can become like a, you know, like Fire Emblem, like there's the mage class that is good in special attack, and then there's the knight class that is good in the, like regular physical attack. I thought that was kind of what they were going for.
okay, Gardevoir is a knight, but she's like supposed to be like a psychic knight or like a special, like, you know what I mean, like not a physical
Yeah.
fighter. And then Gallade is basically the physical fighter version of that. But
You know-
like a lot of people, when you first see like Gardevoir, you don't realize it's supposed to be based off a knight until you see the Japanese name, which is Sir Knightsu.
It's kind of funny to me that this is like the pinnacle of Pokemon design for some people. I don't get it.
Okay, I love Gardevoir, but even I think she looks a little bit awkward once
She
you
doesn't have
really look at the
legs.
details.
Yeah.
She doesn't have legs. Her arms are
Yeah.
one-dimensional. She's like a floating sheet of, like, just a floating blanket.
If Mega Gardevoir was
Pierced
the
by a
first
single red thing.
Yeah,
Huh?
if Gardevoir, Mega Gardevoir was the first design iteration, I would be like, yeah, I get it. She's a beautiful. But like regular Gardevoir, I'm like, I don't know what you guys are on about.
I think it's because people also were like, I don't know, people are perverts is what I've learned.
Yeah, unfortunately. We'll get to that later with Lopunny, but
Oh goodness.
Combi.
Oh gosh, I'm about to be flamed here. Oh yeah,
S
Combi.
tier.
S tier for you? Okay.
It's just
It's
a little
good
guy.
design.
It's a little guy.
It's a good design.
I'll put him actually.
You know
under
what? I think I
territory.
do have to give it S tier. It's such
S
a
tier,
good
really.
design.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
went so well with the bee concept. I think
Yeah.
it is. I think it really is. Yes, I have a hard time because it's so in its niche. I have a hard time finding other things it could do, but I think it's such a solid design that there's not much you can change or not perfect
Well,
for what
let's
it's done.
let's put it this way. Pokemon usually does not mascot tier their bug Pokemon, but Combi has reached mascot status, especially in the Pokemon Cafe, and that is for a reason.
That is true.
Yep.
That is true. That means it does stand out really well as a
Yeah. And also look at this like Combi hype. Look at this.
Okay, wait. Also, you know what? Wait, hold on. Is it a hexagon shape? Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
My favorite. Well, okay. You know what? That makes sense because honeycombs are in hexagon shape. I was gonna go into a little mini like talk about like how hexagon is actually one of the best like shapes ever, and there's a lot of scientific like backing behind its shape.
Yeah.
But I was like, sorry, I got very distracted when I saw lots of hexagons. Like science.
Yeah. I like them. I like Combi.
Yeah, I agree. Combi's pretty good.
Oh,
Vesequin is a good design, but I feel like somehow she is outshined by her workers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. She definitely gives me the
Like-
heebie-jeebies of like, oh crud, there's a wasp. Which is
Well, okay,
the
I
point.
actually like bees. Like, I don't know. I love how they balanced her shapes because she's heavy at
Yeah.
the bottom. She has the hourglass, but it feels like yes, bee, bug, queen.
Yeah.
Like in the best way possible.
Bald.
Yeah, man, is she above Luxray because I think she like
She's really well designed.
Really
she gives me danger.
yeah.
I really
Yeah.
like I would just say like she's terrifying, honestly. And it's not even like it's not that I dislike bees. It's that
It's just that she's superior.
it's just that like her whole swarm mechanic and how dangerous she can get is like really conveyed in the design.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think in some ways she actually beats on my A tier. I would almost put her in like S tier almost.
I'm
'cause
putting
she's
her
just
in
so well
S
designed.
tier.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna put Combi just above her, but both of them are really good.
I agree. I think it's mostly because I understand, but I think Kobe somehow being able to do such a good, solid, simple design is hard.
Yeah.
And I think it's harder than doing a good, solid, or complex design, even though there's more themes, because then you can just slightly simplify it. But when it's so simple, there's nowhere for you to go, is how I feel.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I cannot believe Vesequin and Combi are up there at the top. It makes sense, but like, I was not expecting that.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. As far as like iconic, plays to the imagination, memorable, all this kind of stuff. I feel like Vespiquen and Kobe are like, if I'm thinking of Gen 4, I kind of think, other than the starters, I'm gonna think of Shinx and I'm gonna think of Combi, so. It's just me. Pachirisu.
Okay, Pachirisu's pretty solid. The
It's solid.
spikiness, the tail, like, it's cute.
It's cute.
It's mascotty.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta put it up at least in A tier.
Yeah, A is good. I won't say it's not. I like the silhouette. I like how the tail has the stick up hairs that like reiterate that static
Yeah.
concept. Yeah.
And I think it needs that spike because, okay, if you really look at Pachirisu, it doesn't really have too much of an accent point, right? Because it's white, blue, and yellow. Even you can argue the yellow and the pink might be accent points, but it's still like nothing that stands out super sharply. So I feel like they needed those points in the design so that it didn't wash out, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Pachirisu, I have no complaints being an A for sure. It's cute. It's memorable. It started the Pikachu cousin trend. Actually, no, Plusle and Minun did.
Plusle, at least Pachirisu, they tried.
Actually,
they did something with the stats.
So Pikachu has gotten something added to it every single time because Pichu was in Gen 2. So they've never like not done a Pikachu cousin baby. They're always adding to Pikachu.
They are always adding it. I think the farthest variation you can argue is probably Ponmi. Ponmi makes me laugh. Ponmi is like, because of the evolution line, it's like where it literally is like, oh look, like the starter's phase, the middle phase, no changes, and the third phase is
it
stood up and it got slightly bigger. Otherwise, it looks exactly the same.
It's really funny. All right, how do we feel?
I was like, you either love that or you hate that. It's one of the two. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted.
Oh, good. How do we feel about Buizel?
But wait, do you say what? Say it again.
I say Buizel, but I know it's
no. I think that is how you say it, but I've always called him Bazile.
That's okay. I don't think even in the anime they're like consistent, anyways. But the Japanese is Buizeru, so I think it's Buizel.
Okay, Weasel. It makes sense. It's a weasel Pokemon.
Yeah, he's like a buoy out in the sea, and then he's also a weasel. Technically, that's like what they were going for.
Yeah. But I sometimes people are so creative with Pokemon names, and I'm sitting there like, oh, like, did you hear the thing about? Okay, you know that in Gen 2, the Pokemon, the penguin Pokemon that gives you gifts, right?
Yeah.
How would you say its name?
Delibird.
Okay, that's what everyone says. They said Delibird.
Uh-huh.
But someone was like, isn't it Delibird?
Oh my gosh.
It's a delivery
bird.
bird.
It is
right?
delivered.
Someone was like, and then the guy said it super. I was watching a video because someone said it, and then the way the other Pokemon fans were like, "No," he's like, "Am I wrong?" And they were like, "No, I think you're right. I just think nobody actually like ever thinks that because we just see Deli, so we just go, okay, Delibird, but it's literally Delibird."
I know, but they
like,
said
what?
Delibird in the anime.
Oh, did they actually?
Yeah.
Well, that theory's debunked.
No, it should be Delibird, but
right? It makes sense.
But on Buizel, I think he's a solid design Pokemon. My beef with him just has the fact that he's annoying in the anime, but I think he's cute. Yeah. I think he's good.
He's solid. All of his design makes sense. I just think like maybe there might be a clash at most in terms of like his fins, in terms of shape.
Yeah, I'd say
like it makes sense. It's just it doesn't. It stands out because it's a little bit awkward, but it makes sense for its.
Yeah.
So maybe like,
how do they say Delibird in the original JP? Good question. We'll look it up. Delibird in Japanese.
Nihongo desu.
Oh, it's Delibird. So yeah, that's why.
It's still delivery.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same pun, but they don't have the short I in Japanese. They only have E. A, I, U, E, O. So that's why that's why it happened. Yeah.
Morning, Kraken. Where are you gonna put him? Because
I'm
like,
thinking C. He's kind of in the
yeah,
above Burmy, above Badu, but below Cricketot for me. I think I don't know. He could have been
because
like
Cricketot for me is like an example where you might not be able to pick up the themes quickly, but you can still kind of get the like music theme, but
Yeah.
even if it's a little harder, but the shapes and like the design as well. Whereas Buzzeel, you quickly pick up the theme, but it's not as well executed as Cricketot.
Yeah.
So it's hard, maybe like below Cricketot.
I wouldn't even say that I get the buoy theme from him right away either.
Yeah.
Okay, Floatzel.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't like this goon. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people like Floatzel, like the Buizel Floatzel because of the anime and stuff, but I don't like this Pokemon. I'm sorry.
He's okay. I think in many ways he's actually a better, like
He's better
plays
than
it off a little better.
Buizel, but
Yes, I agree with that, but not by much. And like, you know what's funny is I hate Empoleon so much. So when Floatzel killed my Empoleon, I literally went, I'm not even angry at you. I'm just angry at my. So I have absolutely no hate towards it.
yeah, I feel like the floaty is less well incorporated in a way that it doesn't look like it's part of the body anymore. And then something about like the whiskers that just, yeah.
It like draws too much attention, or like it kind of blends everything because we have the black nose, the black eyes, and then the whiskers at the end. So your eyes are kind of like, whoa. I get why it appeals to some people. There's a lot of aspects to it that appeal to certain people. Like I could see the tails, like the little white fluff for its hands. Like it's like kind of like face can appeal to people, but I think like there is a little bit of a mishmash towards it that in some way is definitely appealing to people, but it's not perfect.
No, and I think the fin, I don't know. An aquatic
The fins look even
weasel
more
is
awkward,
cool.
and I did not think that was like, I don't know. They stand out more. I guess they look less awkward because they're bigger, but they stand out more. So then the awkwardness of them stands out even further.
I will give it a compliment though. I like the teardrop on the belly, and I like the scallop edges of the tail and the paws.
Yeah,
I think it's really cute. But everything else going on is just not appealing to me. I'm gonna put it in D, above Primblup, but below Monferno.
It's weird because I think I like it. I like it as better as a Pokemon than was I can't even say. How do you say it? Weasel? Beezle?
Buizel.
Weasel. Okay, I like it better as a Pokemon than Weasel, but I think I think I have a lot of clashing feelings about its design versus Weasel.
Yeah, I get it.
I'll come back to you.
Okay, good. Let's move on. Oh, we get to talk about Cherubi. I love Cherubi.
I do too.
I know that
Very
like,
simple.
Pokemon always had like the multiple heads thing going on ever since Gen 1, but I feel like it was done a lot cuter in Gen 4 with Combi and Cherubi.
Oh yeah.
I never understood the sunny day mechanic as a child who could not read when I first played Pokemon, so I never understood Cherim, but I love Cherubi. I just never wanted to evolve it because I never got to see it become a cherry blossom until I revisited the game as an adult.
I mean, I got to see it, I think. No, I knew about its mechanic, and so I understood it, but like it's so situational that I also never got to see it except like once, and I was just like, this is too situational. No, thank you.
Yeah, but the design of Cherubi is strong, the silhouette's strong, you immediately know exactly what Cherubi is. It's a cherry. It's
Is it weird though that I almost find it too simple? Like,
It is really
it's a
simple.
very strong silhouette. I can see it almost from a distance, but there's something about it. Like, I
will
don't know why.
say-
Everything is telling me I should like it, and then weirdly I don't like it.
Okay, I mean, it looks
But
like
everything as a
Hoppip.
design. But it's like everything about it as a design makes a lot of sense to me. It just doesn't appeal to me as a design, if
I
that makes
see.
sense.
Yeah, I would still say it's like a C tier. I'm gonna put it next
Yeah.
to Weasel.
Oh, I think it's a solid enough design that I can put it like next to like Piplup, Cranidos, Cricketune. It's just not a design for me. Oh my god, Cherubi in the Pokedex is 420.
Oh, let's go. Okay, Chirim. So I really like Chirim in the sunshine form, and I'm
Yes, it's
almost
adorable.
sad that it's so ugly in the overcast form. What's happening?
Okay, is it okay? You know what I always was confused by? You can kind of see it.
Is that its
Yeah.
face?
No,
Like,
I think
what
it's
is
his
that?
legs.
No, that so there's the leg here, a leg here. What's that one random dash?
Oh, I think you're right. Why is its head all the way down there?
Yeah, so then I used to get really confused on what that portion was. Because I used to think it was up there hiding, and then I was like, what is that? Is that a mistake? Like, what is it? And to this day, I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna look at the anime a little bit just to see.
Overcast form is me at social events is very real.
No, that really is its eyeball. Yeah.
Wait,
That's
the little
Yeah, yeah.
like, line
Look
I
at
see?
this. Look at this.
Wait, hold on. Oh my god. Okay, wait. Is that weird that that makes me like the overcast form better or overcast form better?
I think that's natural, but I really want to know what does it transform. So it doesn't just. It's almost like it shapeshifts. It's not that it just
Opens up.
opens up like I originally thought. That's
I want to see if they have it seen in the anime where it goes from. They must. I
They
see
have
two of
to.
them.
Okay,
Right? How does
let's
it go
just
from one
go,
to the other?
Cutest, Ruby and Trim. Let's just mute this real quick. Thank you. Can I see? Tackle? No, you're not gonna show actual footage. Okay. No. I don't know if they're gonna have it, but we'll see. Okay. Nope. It's just Cherubi. No Chirim in this. Okay. They don't have it on YouTube. I feel
Alright.
like this is such a forgotten
We'll never
Pokemon.
find out.
And I almost feel like if oh,
Sorry,
a shiny
someone got their
Pokemon!
first-
Congrats! Congrats!
Congrats!
I almost feel
I like that you caught an Arbok with it.
if the sunshine form was the default, or
Mm.
if it was day dependent, like because we had like the in-game time. If it was overcast, instead it was a nighttime form and a daytime form, I think it would have been so much more successful. Because people love
Yeah,
Sakura.
I think so. I think it was. I mean, I understand what they were going for because of the ability it has, which I think is chlorophyll. So it makes
Yeah.
sense to me. But like, I actually really like the overcast form. I don't know why. I think it's funny that it's a depressed looking like, don't look at me. And I think it would be interesting if they ever did that for like a nighttime form. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because
yeah,
there
yeah.
are flowers that bloom only at night. Weirdly, Cherubi's cute, but there's certain things about it that don't super appeal to me, and I think it's mostly the body. I love
see.
the little red dots up above. I like the fact that they played with the Sakura shapes, but then the body just kind of feels like a make a cute mascot kind of thing. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm gonna put them all together, honestly.
Yeah.
And see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe like. I feel like it's like this for me, where it's like in the C tour, like higher up, and then I just have them in the order of how I like them. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
I saw the next Pokemon, and I'm so
Show
excited.
us! I'm so
Are we gonna
glad
do-
someone
okay.
else likes Shellos.
Okay, who doesn't like Shellos? I don't understand. Shellos, good design. It's such a good Pokemon when it evolves. Like I don't.
Yeah,
It's so good. I don't care that I had 2 ground Pokemons. I always had
exactly.
Gastrodon and I had
Yes!
Torterra.
Oh my gosh, wait! We are the same person.
It just makes sense.
Gastrodon is my favorite Pokemon.
Mm-mm.
I can't even describe it. I think it was because, again, I was little, and my older sister wanted to help me through the game, so she traded me a level 30 Gastrodon. And it became my favorite Pokemon. Just because my sister gave me such a powerful Pokemon, but it's more than that. It's the fact that they're based on sea slugs. It's the fact that their regional forms are both super cute, and, like...
Yes.
I don't know.
Good abilities, Storm Drain. They just sit there and they'll be like, "Thank you for the water."
Exactly. Muddy Water is also really good. Oh man, these boys. I'm gonna say Shellos is an A tier. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
I'm gonna put.
I'm sorry, Turtwig. They beat Turtwig for me just a little bit.
I'm gonna put just above Chimchar and Infernape for me, but Gastrodon is S tier. He is my baby boy. I love him. He is my favorite.
I like how we immediately skipped it. Like, I almost want to put him like above. No, he's above Pachirisu too. Oh, maybe. Yeah. I think my only thing is I have an issue is with the colors sometimes of Gastrodon, just a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing that it's bad, but I think it could be a little bit like maybe like something you can push it a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Right? Especially because it's like it's very sea sluggy. But other than that, great Pokemon, great design, so solid. I love the way that they went with the direction.
Yeah. I'm just putting my team in S tier. I just realized that. Oh no. Oopsies.
I mean, I feel like a Pokemon that, like, when you play a game for the first time in Pokemon and you don't know anything about it, you pick the Pokemon that appeal to you in terms of design a lot of times.
That's true.
And if they suck, then you'll box them. But if they don't suck, then you'll usually keep them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to ride a Gastrodon. I like his, like, I like
Oh,
yeah! It's so cute! Gastrodon is so cute.
Yeah. And also a good Pokemon. And then, like, I remember, like, okay, actually, I need to swap this. I don't like pink usually. And you'll notice that because I also didn't like Cherim as much, right? But weirdly, I love the pink version of Gastrodon better.
It's so cute.
I think mostly because I love its horns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, with the brown and the pink, it's like,
yeah,
thank you.
He's so good. He's so good. Oh my gosh. I love
Sneak him up into
Gastrodon.
the S. I might sneak up the pink one up into the S tier.
Oh, he's so good. He's the best. The
Least
boy.
biased Pokemon trainer.
He's so my baby boy.
Oh, Apipom.
Yeah,
Ambipom. I don't know. I never remember the names.
Apom must be a Gen 3 Pokemon, and they just gave
Gen 2.
Gen 2, okay.
Yes, so it was one of the ones that you had to catch by, like, shaking, like, headbutting a tree.
Oh, okay. Apom is cute. I don't like Ambipom.
I don't either. I think, okay, you know what it is? It's, like, the hands and the redness, and then, like, there's certain aspects that are cute, and then all together when you see it, like, I'm not afraid of clowns. I'm afraid of Ambipom.
I love clowns.
I watched, okay, the only, like, actual horror movie I went to the theaters for to watch was It. Yeah, but you know what? Every time I say It, I was saying Up, and I didn't realize that, and then people kept being like, you're afraid of... They were like, Up? The one with the dog and the man in the house? And I was like, yeah. And then they were like, no, like the one with the balloons. And I was like, no. What is the other 2-letter word of the movie I'm thinking of? But like, I'm not afraid of clowns, so I wasn't that afraid of the movie. But if I saw Ambipom in like a house by myself, I would run. Ambipom looks like he would murder me and be happy about it.
I don't like his nose. I think they had like Apom could have gotten a second evolution and it would have been cute. And I see what they're trying to go for here. I'm not saying it's a bad design, and it's just not my taste.
And when you compare Apom to like Ambipom, like there's certain parts like the bangs don't make quite sense to me when you look at Ambipom, and then I don't like at it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna put it in F tier. I'm sorry, you tried, but I don't.
I realized I had Empoleon at the top of F tier, and I had to quickly rectify that. Sorry.
All right, let's see. Oh no, I have a bot. Oh no, I have a bot. Ah! Hold on. How do I moderate?
No, that's my bot. That's my bot.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Okay. For explanation. Kraken, who you can see here, made me a Tamagotchi bot, but it's Raymogotchi, and you raise a wild Ray. So you have to put in commands. Yeah, so
I was like, hold on, I'm getting hate rated or something. I didn't even read it.
No. I was like, no, it's me.
I was like, bot, and I was like, I just see my bot. Oh no.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, F tier. I think Bastiodon is better than this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ambipom. I think you're just misunderstood, but you know, no. Drifloon, however, how do you feel about Drifloon?
Oh, I love Drifloon, actually.
I love Drifloon.
Also, it reminds me of me. My
It's
VTuber.
so cute. Yeah, Drifloon.
It's very cute. The shine is adorable. I actually have a phone charm that is on the front side like the normal Drifloon, and on the back is the shiny version. And then the you know how it has like the little balloon strings? It like hangs a little bit like as a charm, and it makes little like noises, and it's very cute.
Yeah, it's so cute. I like
the simplicity of it, and yet how appealing it is.
I'm putting it an A right behind Turtwig for me. The charm of like discovering it at the the windmill was so cool to me. I don't like its Pokédex entry. I just pretend like that doesn't exist, but
okay, I think it's funny. I like the whole like it's cute and it will take your children.
Yeah, I mean it makes it memorable.
Okay, wait. I don't know if people knew this. I think I was the one because I couldn't find anyone talking about this online. So, have you played Sun and Moon, like the first one, right?
Yes.
You know the first totem guy, like the normal guy, like I forget his name, the pink hair guy?
Yeah, I know.
Have you been to his house?
No, wait, I mean
Okay.
maybe.
So his house is like, because I always explore, right? So his house is at like I don't know. I think Sun and Moon was fun for exploring houses because like you could sleep in everyone's bed and you could find. Yeah, you could sleep in everyone's bed, and there was like weird subplots like everywhere in Sun and Moon. Like they were just hidden, so you had to find the time to find it. So if you go to that guy's house, if you go to the right-hand corner, right, there is a dog bed and like a dog bowl and a Drifloon Pokemon there, which is confusing. Right? So if you look around the items there, you can see that it's like him with a Herdier, like the dog Pokemon, right? And there is a Pokemon graveyard not too far. Yeah, from the house.
That's
and if you
so
look
sad.
at Drifloon's Pokédex entry, it talks about like how sometimes it like carries on or it becomes like the souls of like departed Pokemon or something is one of them, right? And all I could think was, is this the Herdier's dog? Because there's certain things I think there were other clues, but when you look at it all together, it kind of seems to be telling the story of they went to the cemetery, they ran into this Drifloon, they took it home, and now it lives in the corner like it's almost like it's the soul of the Herdier. I just thought that was so cool.
Oh, yeah, that is cool storytelling. Drifloon.
Less
appealing?
I like it less than I like Drifloon.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly because it has like that weird orange to it. I don't know.
For me,
I get it. It's supposed to be a hot air balloon being filled up at the end, but
yeah. Fuaride. Oh.
Fua.
Oh, Fuaride, like Fuarido. He for a ride. That's his name in Japanese. It's cute.
I think it's like the same thing as a Pokédex entry. If you hatch a ride with it, you will never be seen again.
Yeah, I think it's cute. and kind of ominous. I really like it. I don't know. I like the Drifloon. It was one of the first Pokemon that I had a really hard time catching, and then when I caught it, it was like a team carry. And I tried to name him Drifty, but again, I was playing this before I knew how to spell that, so his name ended up to be Dritterary. Dritterary.
I was thinking like, oh, maybe like she named it like Driffy or something, and it just became like gibberish at the end, and I was like, all right, I get you now. That's a total fucking mood.
So,
I apologize for my child scaring you. Yeah, that's right. We
can't
demand apologies.
I can't put Dritterary any lower than Piplup, so that's where he's going.
Oh, I also put him up in the higher B tier as well.
Okay, perfect. There we go. All right, Baneri.
Okay, I'm about to get a lot of hate for this.
You don't like Baneri?
I actually like Baneri,
I
and
really
I actually like
like Baneri.
Lopunny.
I like Lopunny
Wait, what?
too. I like Lopunny
Okay,
too.
okay. Because people look at me like I'm weird, and I'm like,
No.
no, not like
So
that.
here's the
It's just,
thing.
I think it's
The
a
internet-
nice design.
Like, heck the internet. Who cares what the internet does
the
to my
internet has-
childhood?
Okay, they did the same thing to Vaporeon. I was like, it's not my
Yeah,
fault
no,
that the
it's
internet
not
has
our fault.
polluted what is a cute Pokemon.
I like Vaporeon, I like Lopunny, I don't like Gardevoir as much as Glade, I'm just gonna say it right now, but I like Lucario, and I can make it not weird.
Yeah, thank you. I literally, okay, I saved it up and I got myself the pre-order of the giant Vaporeon plush. I'm so ready for it to come home.
yeah!
I'm so ready. And everyone was like,
Man.
Vaporeon! And I was like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Exactly. Okay, I would say
But
Lopunny
Baneri's cute.
is a solid, or sorry, Baneri is gonna be right next to Piplup, because that's where he belongs.
But Neri, I think my favorite thing about it is it's like, I love the fact that they added little pom-poms at the end of
Yeah.
the ears.
Yeah.
Also, okay, I didn't realize this, so I thought Baneri was going to be a weak Pokemon, same thing with Lopunny, but because Lopunny evolves with friendship, I just gave it return, and weirdly, it was tanking like everything. Like, it would just
yeah.
tank a hit, and then it would just use like a cut move, and it would be killing Pokemon like
Yeah,
3 to
it's
4
still
levels
good
like above it,
Pokemon.
and I was like, you were supposed to be Death Father. Stop killing items, or stop killing Pokemon that I was using to like
yeah.
trade. What are you doing? So it kind of sidled up into, and also like the little eyebrows it has, I think is like
Yeah,
a very
it's
nice like neat
cute.
choice. Like,
And I like how that done. I would say that Baneri to Lopunny, everything translates really well too.
yeah, it makes a lot of sense, and I'll wait to talk about Lopunny, but like it makes a lot of sense. Lopunny
Yeah.
just has great body like silhouette is how
Yeah,
I feel.
silhouette.
But sorry, I saw it. Yeah, I love both of them.
I
They're both
think
great.
um,
Yours have ruined many things. Yes.
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
It's not our fault. I like both of them, and when I was a little innocent wee bab, I really liked Lopunny on my team. I thought she was really cool. Now
Wait, did you also have Lopunny on your team?
yeah, for a bit, just because she could do a lot of the HMs that I needed. I think she eventually got replaced though. I don't remember by what.
Because I also was using her as a cut setter, and then I just gave her a return, and it was I gave her a return because even with cut, she was killing everything. So I didn't keep her in the final team, but because of that, I respected Lopunny even more.
Yeah, you're gonna
Also, like, great design. Her Mega Evolution is great. I love her. She's like A tier for me, honestly. I'll
Yeah,
fight anyone who
no,
disagrees.
I agree. I'm gonna put her in A tier right behind Starly. Or right behind Staraptor, personally. Yeah. Good.
Ooh, I see a good one. I see a good one has popped up.
Yes, Miss Magius.
Magius!
I like her. And I think
I like
Miss
her too.
Trevis deserved a very solid, I am a Gen 2 fan as well, especially because Heart Gold Soul Silver is the
Yes.
next one in the line, and I think that's the most solid
Yes.
remake ever.
Yes. Yes.
So I feel like this is a perfect like evolution for Mischievous, and also like
Yes.
a really, really cool ghost Pokemon. When I think of cool ghost Pokemon, I think of Mismagius. She's just cool.
Like, so I think like in terms of design, what I really like is that Mischievous has totally different almost totally different colors.
yeah.
Yet when you look at Mischievous and Mismagius, you can almost always tell she evolves into that because they've managed to figure out like key components and like
Yeah.
shapes that match
Retranslate them,
Mischievous.
yeah.
Yeah, and I love the fact that they went from like wispy, witchy-ish kind, like less witchy, but like ghost, to
Yeah.
like now it's like ghosty, witchy. Like it's such
Yeah.
a nice transition. It really feels like an evolution. And I always felt sad that Mischievous, which I really like to see in the pixel form, like only had a one stager.
Yeah.
And now as Mismagius, it's like yes,
Yeah.
yes. I wish I could have gotten it in. Where? Okay, question. Where do you catch Mischievous in Gen 4?
So in Gen 4, you can get Mischievous in Viridian Forest only, or not Viridian, Eterna Forest only at night, by the old chateau.
I could not find
She's
one, and
rare.
I was literally like, I don't
Yeah,
get
she's
it.
rare.
She never wanted to come home to me.
Aw. I think only. Oh, the other thing is you had to have diamond because it's diamond only, and then Honchcrow is pearl only.
That's why I only had Pearl.
Oh no! You needed someone to trade
No wonder
you.
I never found her. Wow, I was robbed. I was robbed blind.
Yeah, because originally Mischievous was either in in gold or silver, and then the silver or gold, the counterpart was the crow, the before Honchcrow. Crowmag? I don't remember his name. Darn it. What's his name?
Honchcrow or a Murkrow?
Murkrow, thank you. Murkrow. Was the like, oh, you can trade Mischievous for Murkrow if someone has the other copy of the game. Like that was one of the version exclusives. So they made it a version exclusive again. Yeah. So
I didn't even get Murkrow and Mischievous back in Gen 2, so I was just a salty lad.
oh, I'm gonna put Miss Magius right above Drifloon in A tier. A tier has a lot of things.
I was like, Miss Magius is an easy A tier.
Yeah, she was on my team briefly too.
I think the only thing I wish more about her is that she had slightly more contrast. That was it.
Yeah, I could see that. I think her mouth gets a little lost, but
yeah,
she's so good. All right, Honchcrow, another fantastic design in my opinion.
Okay, I'm not a fan of the big like plushness, but I think the design, but like concept behind it is super cool. It's a mafia boss and it's like a murder of crows. Is such a cool idea.
Also, I want to point out that his name in Japanese is Don Karasu, meaning like it's like
the dawn of the crows.
Don Quixote, but instead of Quixote, they put Karasu, which is crow. So he's a Don Quixote inspired crow.
Wait, but for Don Quixote, isn't that based? Okay, I know there's like the store in like Japan,
but it's based
I
on
always thought
it's the hero's journey kind of.
Yeah, so I always thought he was a mafia boss, like with the fedora and like he's a Don.
No,
and
he's like a Spaniard,
like a murder of crows.
Oh.
But he's supposed to be like a hero.
I don't remember Don Quixote's story. Can someone?
Don Quixote, he fights giants, but then it's like he's actually like just seeing things. I don't know. It's a sad story, not sad, but it's kind of like that's kind of a downer.
Oh, also mob bosses are called Dons. They're the head honcho. Okay.
Yeah,
it's like a triple.
That's
pun.
what I always thought
Holy
Honchcrow
heck.
was.
Oh.
So I always read it as like the only portion of Don Quixote I could see is maybe like the beard and like the fedora hat, but I always thought it was supposed to be like a mafia, like a Don.
It is.
Like
yeah, it is. Okay, now I get it. I mean, he does look evil. And he looks like a big
he fought
boss.
windmills, right? Yeah.
I would say The only thing that's kind of weird is that he has like a little gap in between his tail feathers. That's kind of weird. I want that red to
Yeah.
go all the way from the base. I know it's
I
supposed to be
don't
like
understand
a
if that's
carnation.
his tail or his wing, TBH.
Oh, I think it's his wing. Yeah, it's
I
his
don't
wing.
know.
It's his wing. Okay.
So then what does okay, weird question now is what does Honchcrow's butt look like? I'm just saying, I'm not being a pervert, I'm just saying I'm trying
Okay.
to
Okay, it's his tail.
Oh!
We needed this information.
Okay. Cause I was staring at it and I was like, that's weird they put a gap there. And then I was like, I think the blue is the wing, so what is the red then?
Yeah. Anyways, solid design. I liked how the white actually emphasizes how evil his eye looks.
Yeah.
And it's just a really simple but well executed, great silhouette, great everything. I can see why there's like a white gap now because his tail is white. So yeah.
For me personally, it doesn't it's not a design that appeals to me, but I think it's such a solid design that I can't help put it up in A.
Yeah.
It's a solid design. Like, even though I don't like the design, even I have to admit it's pretty solid. Like, A or B is how I would see it. And even in B, I feel like it has to go a little bit higher.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put it right next to Driflim. No, yeah, I'm gonna put it next to Driflim. We're getting into the point where everything's really solid and it's getting hard. Okay. Glammeow.
Meow.
I didn't like Glammeow, but now I like it more.
Yeah, I like it more. I like the fact that they played with its tail a lot. Its head is kind of off-putting for sure.
Yeah.
It's a cat. I liked it more when I was younger, and then when I got older, I liked it less.
Oh, okay, we traded places. I didn't like it as a kid, mostly because the evil team had it. But I think it's cool.
When I was a kid, I wanted Glammeow up until I hit the windmill area, where I went, I don't want it anymore. But
yeah,
because it was a cat, and I loved cats and animals, and I was like,
I want a cat on my team.
and then I met its very hard-hitting friend,
yes.
and I went, no, thank you. And
yeah,
the more I learn, okay, I have a rant about Perugly, but I'm just saying, the more I learn about Perugly, the more confused I get about it.
I think it's supposed to be like confusing though. Glammeow, I think it has a really strong silhouette. I'm putting it in a C tier.
Oh, I was also about to put it in the C tier. I'm trying to figure out where.
I'm gonna put it next to Buizel in the awkward but cool. Perugly, I think for its concept that it's supposed to be like an ugly Himalayan cat,
Yeah.
it does a good job. Because I'm sorry to everyone who owns Himalayan cats, sometimes they get like weirdly bred and they don't look good.
Well, okay, so Perugly is also an interesting case where, you know how I told you Glammeow, I went from wanting one
Yeah.
as a kid, and I liked the design as a kid, but now that I'm older, I don't like the design. Perugly, despite the trauma it gave me, is currently a design that I really didn't like the design when I was a kid. I got older and I like the design more and more despite.
Yeah.
Because like the whiskers are really cool to look at.
Yeah.
The way that it's not like, it's kind of like a buff, like almost like alley cat, like it's got into a couple of fights.
Yeah.
Do you know about its tail?
Its tail is the thing. Let's see.
So okay, if you look at it, the tail goes back into its body, and the reason why is that you know that white that it has around its stomach. That's not on its stomach. That's actually its tail.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so there's like animations or whatever of like it pulling it off. It looks bizarre as heck. But that's why like the tail is attached to its body. It's literally like almost using it as like a shock absorber is how I always thought of it.
Ah, interesting. But yeah, it gives me like the here's a example of it taking it
Isn't
off.
this one of the mons you killed with Don't Crit Curse? We don't talk about our Don't Crit Curse. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Kraken. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, I feel like this is one of the Pokemon that it's like it conveys what it it does a good job of conveying it. I just don't like it. I'm sorry.
Wait, Perugly?
Yeah, I think it's
like it.
interesting.
I've grown to like it more and more. The tail thing still wigs me out, but I like it. I'm gonna put it's either high C for me or like low B.
I'm gonna
like-
be nicer to Bastiodon and bring it up to D with Perugly.
I left it in the C for.
Yeah.
I think it's not designed for everyone, but I think weirdly it has some aspects to it that are fun to look at.
Yeah.
Also, I did want to do a quick check-in for you because we're still less than halfway through, but we're like almost 3 hours I think into stream.
We might need to do a part 2, which is funny
Yeah,
because I literally did a tier list yesterday and then realized we needed a part 2 to that one too. But yes.
It's because we're both yappies. Someone! Oh my gosh! Someone just raided you.
And friends
Oh,
are
hello,
raiding the Bat
Greybach.
Bunny.
I am never the person that you raid because I'm never up this late. Welcome on in, Raiders. My name
Welcome,
is Yam,
welcome.
and here we have Ray, and we are
Hello.
just wrapping up talking about Pokemon tier lists. So let's just review the tier list we have so far. My S tier has all my my team. That's the problem. A tier. I know people are gonna be like, wow, you're so biased towards the cute Pokemon, and that is correct. I like cute Pokemon more than strong-looking Pokemon. Oh, you're getting a very intoxicated raid. Greybach, go take care of yourself. Hi, Blue Kirby. Nice to see you. Oh, thank you, Cyber, for the shout-out on Gray.
I'm sorry that my mix-it-up is like blocking all of these shoutouts.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Here. What? Here, let me, because I can do it on my end. So let me actually do it for you.
I see.
Yeah, there we go. Yay!
Thank you. Oh, playing Monster Prom. Wow, wow. Nice. Okay, so I'm sure this is a little controversial, especially what I decided to put in TNF, but honestly, Gen 4 so far is a super, I would say it's a really strong gen of really interesting concepts. Not necessarily the ones that got executed the best, but I would say that this is one of the more inspired gens in terms of, like, let's try a thing, for sure.
Honestly, I think I 100% agree with that assessment because the fact that they added so many, like, Gen 4s, or not Gen 4, like evolutions for older Pokemon and things like that, and then they played with a lot of different concepts, really told me that they wanted to bring, like, more, like, life to the Pokemon, and I think that's why, despite me not liking the games, I think even subconsciously as a kid, I could recognize that, and I liked a lot of the designs as a result. Even back when I thought I hated the games, and therefore I thought, there's no way Pearl, Diamond, and Platinum are gonna be in my top, like, Pokemon designs at all. And then it was number 1, and I was like, how did this happen? How did you beat Gen
That's
2
so
and Gen
funny.
5?
For me, that game is actually Gen 5 because I've never played Gen 5. It's just, I skipped it, and now I
Black and
regret
White?
skipping it. I regret skipping it so much.
Have you still not played it?
I still haven't played it. I'm gonna play it on stream when I feel like getting into a Pokemon. You know, you need to be in the right mode to get fully immersed in a Pokemon experience, and the moment I feel that way, I'm gonna play it on stream. Because
I
so
think
many
Gen
people...
5 has... Okay, I think Gen 5, when they do a design right, they do a design right,
Yeah.
is how I feel about Gen 5. And with Gen 5, you can tell they really... I'm not going to go into details because I want you to be surprised. But Gen 5, you can tell they really tried not only with the story, but they also really tried to bring it to life with a lot of pixel art. And they also tried... You could tell they tried a lot of, like, visually pleasing things because it was meant... Like, Black and White 2 was meant to be some of the last... like Pokemon games on like the 3DS, so you'll really be able to tell. The music is amazing too. There's a main character's music that is very like his theme song is very like, noticeable, and when you actually like look into how they made it, he's a very like numbers person, and the opening piano like music intro to his music is based on like prime numbers. So they like assigned
Oh,
numbers or something.
really
And so
cool.
it's very cool, especially when someone like I was watching a deep dive into it and they were like, that's why it sounds like this and why it sounds so odd. It's literally a number-based music that's introducing you because that's what his character is like. I was like,
Oh,
oh.
yeah.
It's interesting. I think you'll
I'm
like it.
excited for it. Oh man, this part Home City. Like, I'm so nostalgic for Gen 4. I'm kind of sad that I skipped Gen 5 and went right into Gen 6 now. But it was just like, you know how Pokemon just releases games too quickly? And when you're a kid,
Yeah.
you don't have money? That's kind of the problem.
Also, they don't allow their team anymore. I'm like, okay, the problem is that you guys get bigger and bigger gens, which means you have bigger and bigger Pokemon to add, which means that with the same time frame, you have less time to work on aspects you could before.
Right.
Plus, you guys are working on bigger engines. So why is it that you only give yourself so few time that by the time you release a new one, I'm like, already?
Yeah, it's too often. I have to skip games because it's like not in my budget, and then it's like, well, I just missed the best game ever. Like for instance, I bought Sword and Shield, and then I skipped Legends Arceus, and then I bought Scarlet and Violet, and everyone's like, you missed out on the freaking Legends Arceus. I'm like, darn it. Yeah. I bought the wrong.
Legend Arceus. I think you would really like Arceus. I'm not gonna lie.
I think I would too, because it's about Gen 4, and I love Gen 4. It's
Okay. Everyone can have their opinion about the remakes for Diamond and Pearl. I didn't like what they did with them, and I didn't think they had enough soul put in.
I
think
haven't
they just made
even
them
checked
easier.
them because I knew that the moment they remade Diamond and Pearl, I would be disappointed. So I literally just didn't look at it.
I would say Legend Arceus is not the remake, but the love and care that you would want. Minus like a couple things that are like what you would expect for a remake of Gen 4. It's not that it's really a remake.
So Asa, thank you for the hydrate. Hi, Angel.
Oh man. But it's okay, I will say this. Gen 5, even though I think it's a really good Pokemon game, for some reason people always gave it shit, and it wasn't until like recently that people are like, actually, like the music was really good, and I was sitting there like, I already been saying that. Actually, I like that they tried something different with the stories. I was like, I already said that. So it's interesting to see people now backtrack on their opinion of like Black and White, and I'm sitting there like, I was always a believer of it. It literally brought me back into Pokemon games.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my brain is dying slowly because I'm such a morning person and I'm usually not up this late. But
oh my goodness. Okay. Let's.
no, it's okay.
Let's. You want to call it a stream? I don't mind.
We
because
will
we're
call it a
halfway.
stream. We won't continue the tier list, but I do want to say one thing is like, I used to be on like the new Pokemon bad, old Pokemon good hate train until I saw how much the kids love like this Nintendo Switch Pokemon games, and then I was like, you know what? I can't say that Pokemon is bad now. It's just different. And
I mean, okay. I think that's true, but I also think that there's clearly rushing out games because Pokemon Scarlet and Violet did not feel complete.
I see, yeah.
Yeah, like have you seen it? The difference on how it runs between Switch 1 and Switch 2?
Yes.
It's like startlingly different, and I was like, this is what it was meant for.
I see.
They clearly were like trying to figure out how to optimize the engine, and then the Switch 2 clearly like was enough that it could run cleanly, and like they tried. There's things in Scarlet and Violet that I think people don't appreciate enough. I was like, they tried. I think the problem is that they had the concepts down and they didn't have enough time to refine it. Is how I feel about Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, I want them to give Pokemon deserve like the long dev treatment. I think if they had like smaller games like the Diamond Pearl remakes for like half the price and then just release those yearly, but then have like a longer dev cycle for the mainline games, we would be a lot happier.
Oh, I agree. I'm glad that for ZA they actually have slightly broken the cycle a little bit. Like instead of it being 2 years, they actually spent another additional year. And I was like, I can definitely appreciate that. Please continue that kind of trend. Time will only tell when ZA is introduced whether or not they needed more time or if they actually finished the game how they wanted to finish it.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, Glowlurkers were pretty solid design, not gonna lie.
Super good shape language. It's
Yeah.
It's
Like,
again,
it stands out, you see it, you go, that's Go.
Yeah. Maybe Switch 2 was delayed and OLED Switch was released instead. Yeah, I have a feeling that maybe Scarlet and Violet was meant to be a next-gen game, and then they were like, oh, crud, well, we need to release
Doing
it.
it now.
Yeah.
Well, I think what the problem was is that, like, because you can tell it was not, like, refined, because they had three, plots, right? It was supposed to be open world. You're supposed to follow all three. But because they didn't include, like, level implementation, right, of, like, gauging it, it made it... How did you... What? Huh? Okay, like, it made it more difficult to, like... Yeah, there was just some things where I was like, this needs refinement, this needs refinements. The way it lags and the way it glitches, I was like, that's a huge, like, red flag. You could tell there was some solid concepts and, like, thought put behind it. They just didn't have time to, like, execute it properly and refine it properly is how I felt.
Yeah.
That's what I was like, please, guys.
I think
It felt...
also just... Oh, well, this is my bias, but I fell out of love with any game that requires grinding of me, just because as now a like adult who has to put food on the table, I'm just like, I don't have time for like the JRPG style of like turn-based grindy combat, and I would really love if Pokemon like did more things like Pokemon Snap and stuff, so that I can still play with Pokemon without like I really like the trading card
50s.
like app just so that I can revisit Pokemon in a less committed way.
Yeah, I mean, I think also like battling is fun, but at some point we want to have a little bit more variety, especially for the older adults. So I think that's why people like Pokemon Snap, people like Pokégo, people like Pokemon Arceus.
Yeah.
It's fun when they get to or more. Oh, actually, have you ever tried Pokemon? Oh, shoot, what is it?
Rangers?
It's the tactical. It's like, okay, you know Fire Emblem, how you move like your units around.
Pokemon Conquest. Yes.
Yes,
I love that game.
I love that game.
Yeah,
I want to play that game on stream. That's like my
Yeah,
childhood.
it's so good.
It's so good. It's so good.
I also like the Mystery Dungeon series. Every time they like branch out and do something new with Pokemon, I'm happy with it. So I wish they would do it more.
Yeah, I really wish they did more, but I feel like Nintendo and / Game Freak are very reluctant to. I think it's only until now that they've really started to be like, oh, like maybe we don't have to follow tradition.
Yeah. I will show you guys Pokemon Conquest really quick before I go. Pokemon Conquest was a DS game that was basically Fire Emblem but with Pokemon, where you're on an isometric map and you get to battle Pokemon in a more interesting strategic turn-based way. That's like...
And it was also like not only just fun to play, but visually it was really beautiful. I noticed with turn-based games sometimes like they don't, it's not like they don't skip on like the visuals, but like the little pixels are very like muddled. But I feel like Pokemon Conquest, everything about it looked crisp and clear. I was like, whoever was like the art director, like cooked.
Yeah. I really wish that they would return to the series, honestly.
Yes, I was like, can we get a sequel? Can we get a sequel? Can we get something with that? Like, do something, please? I feel like it's a very popular game. Why would you do this to me?
Oh, yeah, Angel brings up a good thing in chat where they're like, well, there's deadlines to meet with the TCG merchandise, anime tournaments, and side games. Yeah, timing things with the anime and the merchandise is their bigger concern rather than, like, making the games good, I would say, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I think the problem is as you add more Pokemon, inevitably the scale creep is gonna get actually impossible, especially because they insist on going 3D. I'm a big proponent for like 2D games to make a return. I like the reason I'm like interested in returning back to black and white is because style-wise, I think it is like the best merging of the 2D and 3D aspects, where the environment's 3D, but like the pixel and sprite work is like rigged 2D, which I think, I mean, as a rigged 2D model myself, I'm excited to see how Pokemon look in rigged 2D as well.
I wish they like, because clearly a lot of indie games have success because they have pixels, and it's like, it's yes old school, but it has enough of a modern look to it or feel to it that people are like, it's like the best of both worlds. And I was like, Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon, you have a choice to maybe release a cool pixel version of a new Pokemon game.
Right?
I'm just saying, you
saying.
can go back old school, and I think you will make so much money.
Yeah. Okay, well, enough
Speaking as someone who would
rambling.
definitely buy it.
Yeah. I mean, take my money if they went that direction, but I doubt it, unfortunately. But yeah, I would say that's where we're leaving it here. We will schedule another time to do more, the other half of Gen 4 pretty soon. I'm gonna go to sleep. It's ironic that I'm a bat.
Sleep. I've been worried about you because I was like, when should I bring up that we should end stream for poor Yam?
Yeah, sorry. I mean, you can probably tell, but I'm dealing with a little bit of a cold, and I'm also not a night person, so I'm sorry if my disjointed sentences got annoying, but you know, I'm trying my best. Oh, to save my current progress.
We can always do earlier for you next time, so that way,
that would
I want to do earlier
well.
for you.
Thank you. But thank you.
Yes, please. That's why I was just like, oh, because the day we chose, I was like, I'm only available at night because I'm working, but maybe we could pick a day where I'm not working and we can do early morning as early as you need.
Yeah, that would be helpful, and you're gonna be like, wow, yeah, you're so energetic when it's not past dinner. Yeah, that is.
Question are white bats nocturnal, or is it just
white bats are nocturnal? But I like to say that I just you know how like some humans, they want to stay up all night and then they want to sleep in. That's like me. I stayed up all night / day because you know, being diurnal is rebellious, and then I sleep during the time that all the other bats wake up.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you want to raid anyone, or you just want to call it
Oh, I can. Yeah, let's. How does raiding out work when we share chat?
It will it only shares chat. It doesn't necessarily.
Oh, okay.
Raid.
So we both.
So I like to see. We like to raid the same
let's raid
people.
the same person. Let's see.
Also, Beast of Reincarnation is the new Game Freak game. I'm going to look that up because that sounds interesting. Thank you for letting me know, Angel. You always have the best news.
Let's see. Out of everyone I'm following, I don't have a lot of people in common right now. Do you?
Oh, like who are awake?
Yeah.
Let me check. Raid channel following. Well, okay. So sometimes I like to go to the ferret software people because I think sometimes, especially if it's nighttime, some people just want to kind of cool down.
Yeah.
And I think watching ferrets is very cute.
Okay, so it's FERETSOFT. Oh, software.
TWARE.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, we can raid to ferret time. Sounds good.
I like to do it when I'm like, I'm not gonna stick around and I
Yeah.
can't, like, it's time for us to sleep.
Yeah.
Go watch some really cute little ferrets because I think
Yeah.
they're very relaxing and cute.
All right. Yeah, let me start the raid over there. I hope you guys have a great night, and thank you so much, Ray, for collabing with me. I'm excited to do this again soon.
Thank you so much for collabing with me. I had such a fun time just
Me too. Yapping. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It's nostalgic
yeah, I
too. All right, here we go. Everyone, take care.
Bye bye everyone.
Bye-bye.
This has been your Wonder Girl. Thank you for tuning in to the Wonder Channel. Bye bye.